West Texas.
Extra, good morning to you, and thank you so much for waking up with us on this finally Friday morning. Good to have you again, Ethan Yost, here with us, filling in for Sawyer McRoy. Really nice to finally make it to Friday.
Yes, it is. Finally Friday, and it's also looking like a beautiful day out there.
I say that, of course, but this is not your Friday.
Technically not, no. I do have some work on the way for Saturday and Sunday. My weekend starts on Monday of next week.
You're what we call a weekend warrior.
Yes.
For sure. So we appreciate that, of course, nonetheless, because it looks like, we'll get into it a little bit later, but you have at least an interesting forecast ahead for the weekend.
Yeah, cooler forecast for sure, especially compared to today. We're dropping by about 17 degrees compared to today's highs. We'll be seeing highs back to the lower 60s for the start of the weekend, so make sure you take advantage of it because it doesn't last long.
No, it does not last long. You're right about that. It's not been feeling very seasonable whatsoever, like you talked about, and it doesn't look to be the case, at least for the next week or so. That's just the way it kind of is. But we appreciate you streaming with us this finally Friday. Let us know where you're watching from. How are you feeling? Something you want to let us know on this Friday? You can comment it on the First Alert 7 Facebook page. Download our app as well. Take us with you wherever you go. The school, grocery store. Make sure it's okay, though, with if you're working as a teacher, you can keep us up on your computer. Maybe the grocery store, like I was saying, or just on your commute. Listen to us. You don't have to watch us. We have his stuff very interesting to say as well. But download our app on your connected TV, phone, or tablet. We want you to take us with you wherever you go every morning here on Wake Up West Texas Extra, which streams live from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. But now is our favorite time of the morning, where we ask you at home to comment and let us know your thoughts on certain topics and polls. But also, we wanted your answer to a trivia question. We do two trivia questions every show. 1 hour gets one and the other hour gets another. So our first trivia question of the morning is, which planet in our solar system has the longest day?
I have a little bit of knowledge here.
Okay.
I don't know the answer yet, but I do know that Mars has a very similar day to ours.
So you're doing process of elimination?
Yes, I'm doing process of elimination here. But something that I do know is that Mercury, for instance, have you ever heard of what are they called? Tidally locked planets. You know what that is?
Where it doesn't move, like the moon, right?
Yeah. So basically, the same face of Mercury faces the sun for the entire year.
So it's just baked.
So believe it or not, I think a day on Mercury is longer than a year on Mercury.
Oh wow! Fascinating.
I believe. I could be wrong.
Do you want to hear my thought process?
I'm going to put my answer there.
So my thought process with it is mass.
I understand that.
Jupiter, being our largest planet, I feel like takes a long time to do one revolution.
It does make sense to think that, but I don't know for sure the answer, but I do know that Jupiter spins really, really fast.
Really?
That's one thing
I didn't
about
know
Jupiter.
that.
But it is large, so it could have a long day. I don't know how long the day is, but that's a little hint for you.
Okay.
If that changes your answer or not. I know it has one of the fastest rotational speeds.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, then I'll go with Saturn for the sake of the poll itself. I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm thinking. I'll go with Saturn because it's my favorite planet.
I think I'm going to stick with Mercury.
Other than the one I'm living on, might I add. So I'll vote Saturn. I'm going on to the website, firstalert7.com/vote. Make sure you make your voice heard. Scan the QR code there as well. And now let's head to our next question of the morning, which is, in your opinion, which country has the best food in the world? And I just will straight up say United States right off the top. Now, okay, here's the reason why.
Yeah, I want to hear why.
Well, why? I live here, right? We are the melting pot of the world. We have food
true.
from everywhere. Not that Italy only has pizza. I'm just kidding. It only has, it has Italian food. But you know what I mean? Like, we have truly everyone from every corner of the earth here in the United States.
It's more diverse.
It's more diverse. Now, best is, of course, eye of the beholder kind of thing. But that's my opinion. My second would probably be Italy.
I have to say that
Mexico.
mine would be in Italy.
You too?
I would have to say Italy, only because I'm a huge pasta and pizza fan. Like, that is like a lot of what I eat is pasta, and of course pizza is probably like a top 3 food for me. So Italy is probably for me, but for as far as all countries, though, there's one on here, or there's one not on here that's actually my favorite, is Brazilian food. That's my absolute favorite. It's so good.
I'm curious. So is it very different? Is there a certain dish that you can think of, or type of meat that is used there that maybe that we don't see here often?
So yeah, there is one meat there that they use that isn't used here as often, but you can buy it. Have you ever heard of picanha?
No.
It's basically a cap of the top sirloin. So think of a sirloin with a fat cap on it. It is very, very good.
Real savory, I imagine, with the fat there. That sounds pretty good just describing it like that. So let us know what you think. Which country has the best food in the world? So far, United States at 33. It's Italy there, and Mexico as well. Mexican food, of course. Well, I say that. I say I'm very familiar with Mexican food, but I'm here. But in reality, no, I'm not. It's Tex-Mex here.
It's true.
It's not actual, authentic Mexican food. So I'm not very, familiar with actual Mexican food.
Authentic Mexican food,
yes.
I agree with that. I'd say Mexican is definitely some of my favorite types of food too. I've had plenty of places around here that are really good, but of course I also don't have much experience with authentic Mexican food. So can't really make a point there.
Yeah, we're in Tex-Mex country here, but there are some authentic locations around here too for like actual Mexican food that I need to give it a shot at some point. So it's on the list for sure.
I would say, to be honest, there's no really wrong answer here.
No, there's not.
Every country has something good about them.
That's right. We just want your opinion. That's why it's in your opinion.
Exactly.
Speaking of, in your opinion, which is scarier? A haunted mansion, an old cemetery, a dark forest, or a shady city alleyway? Oh.
Haunted mansion has got to be one of the ones I'm looking at here.
I'm going to go with a shady city alleyway. I'm very paranoid when I'm walking around in a urban area.
Very true. I feel like that does pose the most threat out of all those.
I mean, truly to my life, the rest of it is I guess
more in your head.
Right. It's more not real. The ghosts aren't real. Hot take there, right?
Let's just, assume that you do believe in ghosts, though. I would totally understand if you were afraid of, let's say, an old cemetery.
I hate to bring this up.
Haunted mansion.
Do you believe in ghosts? No, I don't.
I feel like it's a pretty loaded question.
It's a humongously loaded question.
But I will say that I don't directly believe in what is the typical quote-unquote ghost.
Yes, with a white sheet and holes through it, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's very stereotypical. But yeah, I don't think that you can have any real interaction with anything like that, or something that's real in that way.
Yes, exactly.
But that's my opinion.
That is a loaded question, though. You're right. Do you believe in the paranormal? No way. Was that next?
Oh wow! Look at that.
Wait, can you confirm that was actually next? Oh. I didn't know that.
Well, look at that. Do you believe in the paranormal?
Well, it depends.
Yeah, I feel like that's a different question
kind of question
from,
paranormal.
Are you, or do you believe in ghosts? I feel like it's kind of a different thing in and of itself. And I feel like I do believe in that more than ghosts themselves.
Me too. Yes, I think so too. I want 100%. Yeah, the actual ghost of someone who has died in their house. And no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But so, yes, I'll vote yes on this one.
I agree with that.
I'm not sure is also kind of a valid question. Sure.
Yeah.
Or answer, I should say.
It kind of depends on what really constitutes paranormal, because it's kind of a broad
Well, it is.
concept.
I mean, there's so many aspects. There's demons, there's ghosts. I mean, I could go down the list of things that we could. So let us know what you think. That's why the comment section is there. We want to hear your thoughts on it.
Exactly.
Marilyn says, good morning to Matthew and Ethan. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you as well.
Yes. This next one's for you.
All right, let's hear it. Oh, if you were a storm chaser, which weather phenomenon would you want to see in person? I like this question.
I vote all of them. Honestly, I would be kind of scared to see a tornado in person. I kind of don't want to. As someone who enjoys weather, I wouldn't really want to.
You really want, even from a far distance away?
Maybe, let me tell you.
Open field in the middle of nowhere. You're safe. It's 5 miles away.
There's a trust factor there. So I've looked at tours because I've thought about it. You've probably heard of the storm chasing tours. Mm-hmm. You put your trust in these folks because they try to get you as close as they can. It's gone wrong a time.
It has.
It has. So I don't know. I would say maybe if I was, maybe if you were there, someone I really trust, to be able to kind of guide the way, keep us in safe distance, because some storm chasers are trying to get really close.
See, there is a limit when it comes to storm chasing. You either want to get what we call zero metering it. That's kind of a layman's term for storm chasers, where you're literally going as close as you can without,
no, thank you,
literally hurting yourself. Or you just go to actually see it and warn people, because that's kind of the main reason why I storm chase. Mm-hmm. Which is, of course, it's a big learning experience, but the main reason is it helps the National Weather Service get warnings out. It helps people get aware of the threat faster. And so it doesn't really matter how far away I am. As long as I can see the hazard and I can report it, That's the most important thing for me.
I totally agree with that. The warning, the lead time between these tornadoes actually forming on the ground and then entering possibly a city or some sort is such a big deal. And I know it's improved. Shalana says, good morning, Matthew, Edith in Maryland. Belinda says the same thing. Finally Friday.
That's right.
Good morning to everybody. Thanks for streaming with us. We're just in a discussion about storm chasing because we're getting into the hot season right now, which is typically from what months to what month?
Well, for West Texas, it seems like it's all year, right?
Truly. You're right about that.
But our average high is going up quite a bit. Our average high now is right around 70. We're going to be touching 80 by the end of the month. So we're going to continue to see these warm conditions all the way through the summer. So we got a long while to go.
Very interesting. But back to the poll question, I'm probably going to go with thunderstorm.
Fair enough.
More than tornado, but yes, if I had someone I trust truly, we can keep an eye on the storm, not get caught up in I watched a lot of those terrible videos of like storm chasers. They explain their story about how they got caught up. They made a wrong turn. There was limited road availability. That's a huge factor, especially in the middle of nowhere.
Especially.
But that's kind of scary for sure.
Yeah, thunderstorms are a fantastic thing to chase, especially if there's no significant hazards like tornadoes, because tornadoes can be, or not tornadoes, thunderstorms in general can be very photogenic. Like they can have awesome structure. And honestly, I like chasing that more than just tornadoes. Like it's really enjoyable to get those pictures and see those. Like you can get these very sculpted, rotating updrafts, and they just look like these big helical, columns of air all the way up into the the upper atmosphere. So it's very cool to see.
I've seen parts of those things here and living in this area, but never some of the photos I see on, Facebook and YouTube.
And that's the thing about West Texas is that it's actually very notorious for photogenic storms because we're so dry. And usually with dry air, you can see the storm better. There's not much rain shrouding the actual structure of the storm. So that's when, a lot of people actually come out here specifically, like southeast New Mexico, West Texas, Texas Panhandle for, the very photogenic storms.
Yes, not so much the big tornado threat as much so, but photogenic storms, which also is part of their job. Isn't that what storm chasing kind of is as well? Some of them sell photos to networks and things like that.
Yeah, there's definitely some people that do that, but I feel like most storm chasers do it for the adrenaline. A lot of storm chasers do. Most professional storm chasers that are actual meteorologists, they do it a lot for the warning coordination side of things.
Very important for
There's
safety.
a lot of storm chasers that work for news stations or work for, private sector or the government, and they work with them to actually, update people and make sure warnings are going out.
I found also in the last decade or so, a lot of schools are putting their own storm chasing programs together to teach their young meteorologists how it works and everything like that. There's Texas Tech has one of them, for example, in our area.
Yeah, see, that was something that was not the case back in my college. They kind of were very hands-off with storm chasing because of the liability.
I can't imagine.
So, because if they, start endorsing people and trying to, entice you to go storm chasing, and then they have the liability of you going out and just driving straight into a tornado,
that's not good.
It's not good. But, we did. We had our little group, though, in college that we would go out and storm chase. They wouldn't, tell us, oh, don't go, but they wouldn't endorse it and be like, oh, yeah, this is, go and do this.
Yeah, and of course, there's groups that kind of come together, more so than sanctioned storm chasing. Like Texas Tech won't do that, of course, but there are groups of the students, like you were saying, who go out and storm chase.
But there actually is some schools that have storm chasing
courses?
Essentially courses in a way. It's more like an extracurricular thing. I believe it's Oklahoma University. But,
OU?
Yeah, OU. I believe they do have a program where they have a bunch of storm chasers that go out and they go out in the field, but then they have a separate group that stays at the university and tracks things, and they stay communicated with each other. So it's kind of this whole dynamic.
Texas A&M has a very similar program as well. They have a storm chasing class.
Oh, wow.
So pretty cool. Let's see. A reminder from Shalana, our general manager, the Kessel Cook-Off is today.
Oh, that's right.
We can't miss that. We've definitely got to do that.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Did we get a time on when that is?
I don't know.
I don't know if we've gotten a time on that. I'll have to check on that because we need to get some Kessel for sure on this Friday. It's a good way to end the work week for sure. We appreciate you streaming with us here. We'll go to firstalert7.com/vote. Let us know what you think on there and also comment on the First Alert 7 Facebook Live. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to be joining meteorologist Ethan Yost in the Weather Center for a check of his forecast coming up through the weekend and into early next week, and plus a lot more discussions as well here on Wake Up West Texas Extra. Stay with us.
Now, from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's meteorologist Ethan Yost.
Well, we are looking at a nice day ahead with breezy conditions and warm temperatures once again, but dry conditions are going to stick along as we head towards our Friday afternoon. Here's the big picture this morning, and we did have a storm system that rolled through last night. A couple of strong storms did move through portions of West Odessa and near Crane, which did produce some hail, but now that storm system is pushing off to the east across the Great Plains. That's going to foster more severe weather across the Great Plains and up and towards the Midwest later this afternoon and evening. Current satellite and radar view, you can see we have some showers and storms across the Midwest this morning, dry across the state of Texas, including West Texas, maybe a couple high-level clouds out there. And over towards the Intermountain West, a lot of snow up there, and that's because we have a colder air mass that's seeping in across the northwest U.S. You can see that here with all the deep blues across the Pacific Northwest into the northern plains. That's associated with a cold front that's going to gradually sag to the southeast overnight tonight, setting the stage for a cooler weekend. But for today, warm conditions do stick around with a high of 80 degrees this afternoon, but also breezy conditions, which is going to overlap with very dry conditions and lead to near critical fire danger this afternoon. Red flag warnings are in effect through Friday evening across portions of southeast New Mexico down into the Guadalupes and Davis Mountains, also northwest Permian Basin. So if you are in the red shaded region, make sure you avoid activities that could cause sparks through the afternoon and evening. Now here's the numbers over the next 7 days. Again, tomorrow a cold front rolls through. We're going to see much cooler temperatures, down by about 17 degrees. We're down to 63 for the daytime high on your Saturday, but it doesn't last long. So take advantage of Saturday because we're back in the 70s by Sunday, and that looks to last all the way through the end of next week, possibly touching 80 by this time next week. So well above average warmth looks to continue along with mostly dry conditions. Now in the futurecast for the rest of today, we are looking at plenty of sunshine out there, but a breezy wind out of the west. So make sure to keep that in mind when it comes to the fire weather concerns. Overnight tonight, the cold front rolls through out of the north. That may spark up a little bit of a thunderstorm across the far eastern Permian Basin, but I think most of us stay dry. Really just looking at a cool down going into your Saturday with plenty of sunshine on the way. Looking ahead to the next 10 days this afternoon, again, abundant sunshine, highs right around 80 with a breezy southwest wind. Much cooler for your Saturday with a high of 63. Slight rain chances early on Saturday morning across the far eastern Permian Basin. Most of us stay dry though all the way through the weekend. And then we introduce some more gradually increasing rain chances as we head towards the new work week, especially on Tuesday.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely quite an interesting roller coaster, at least for a little bit before we really ramp back up in the way of temperatures well above where we're supposed to be this time of the year, like you continue to mention. Rainfall, nice to see it kind of scattered throughout our forecast because any rain is good rain here in West Texas where it's very dry and fire weather conditions kind of a danger, especially for our friends out in the west portions of our area.
I mean, they've probably had in like the last 2 weeks, I think there's been at least 5 red flag warnings, and so we've had plenty of dry conditions, and we're just getting started in the fire weather season.
So more to come, of course, as we get through the rest of March into April and May as well. But we appreciate you streaming with us here on Wake Up West Texas Extra. Linnell says, good morning, Matthew and Ethan. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning to you as well. Have a great day.
Yes, thank you very much for tuning in and joining us every single morning. So glad to have you with us as we start our day. Let us know where you're watching from. You have something to look forward to this Friday or this weekend. Let us know about it. We don't want to be nosy, but we want to know what you're doing this weekend. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend yet. I'm still trying to figure it out.
This weekend I'll be here.
That's true. Again, you will be working. Yeah. That's true. You're a weekend warrior. Do you have a routine you do? Do you typically try to sleep in? Well, I know after this shift.
Well, yes, I will definitely sleep in tomorrow. But on a normal basis, I usually try to wake up a little early on my weekends because
enjoy the day.
Yeah, because like that's my day. Before I go into work at 2:00 in the afternoon. That's all I got really, because by the time I'm back, it's 10:30 at night. Time to wind down again. Yeah. So, yeah, I usually get up a little earlier on my weekends just to enjoy the day while it lasts.
Good. Yeah. Wonderful. So let us know if you also work weekends. There's a lot of weekend warriors that make the world go round. That's for sure. Let's turn now to Odessa. The Chamber of Commerce held a very special event called She Can, a women's conference about perseverance and leadership among our women leaders. And a very special guest was there, the keynote speaker, Nancy Kerrigan, a gold medalist for the Olympic team back when. She joined First Alert 7's Sierra Burnett with that story.
The She Can Women's Conference started in 2020 in honor of National Women's Day and Week. The first conference was held online and since has grown into an all-day event to empower and inspire women in the workforce. This year, there were 500 attendees from around West Texas to celebrate women.
It's really a wonderful time for them to look forward to just coming together, the sisterhood of showing support. We've talked about, some of our speakers have mentioned, as women, we don't need to compete with each other. We need to lift each other up.
And that's exactly what the Odessa Chamber of Commerce set out to do. They invited two-time Olympic figure skating medalist Nancy Kerrigan to serve as the event's keynote speaker. She spoke about perseverance, entrepreneurship, mental health, and the power of women supporting women.
I'm not from this community, so it's an honor to be asked to come in as the keynote speaker to hopefully inspire people to go after their dreams and persevere through tough times and just make a difference.
During the conference, organizers also honored retired educator and city council member Mara Spivey Willis. She says when hundreds of women come together in a space like this, it becomes more than just a conference. It becomes a moment of empowerment.
When you get 500 women together, you've got woman power deluxe overdrive. So it's just great, and what's important to me is that it's everybody, like I told them earlier, you can, I want everybody to be empowered to know that she can, I'm she.
Events like this help create a space where women can share experiences, build connections, and encourage the next generation of leaders. Reporting for First Alert 7 News, I'm Sierra Burnett.
Ethan, that was a wonderful story. Hearing him, just kidding, he's stepping off.
I'm coming.
That is pretty cool, though. Nancy Kerrigan coming to Odessa about this conference. It's a conference that's been going on, I want to say, 5 years now in downtown Odessa. It's really cool. It's put together by female leaders across our entire community, including Renee Earls, the president and CEO of the Odessa Chamber of Commerce. So really cool to see and be a part of that event. First Alert 7 proud to be, of course, been there to cover that with Sierra Burnett. But pretty cool to have someone, Nancy Kerrigan, a female leader in her own right, coming to inspire next generation of leaders as well.
Very inspiring.
Very cool.
Very.
Something else that's pretty cool, Burleson Elementary School. Look at this video. They had their own mini HEB market that was set up in one of their classrooms there.
Oh, how nice.
Isn't that cool? HE Buddy was even there. He's the mascot of HEB.
How did I not know that there was a mascot?
I would say he's not the most prominent mascot you've ever seen. Like, you'll see him in the store. We used to have HE Bucks, like Buddy Bucks.
Oh,
they're called
okay.
Buddy Bucks. And he has pictures on it, but it's more for kids. But you can see they learned skills that included organization, collaboration, checking out, checking in, and also keeping it clean. It was part of their lessons that they did in this pre-K student. So this was for kids 3 and 4 years old.
That's very, very awesome. And I remember, this kind of gives me some nostalgia from when I was a kid. I was looking at those small carts that they're rolling around.
Yes.
And there was some grocery stores back then when I was a kid that had those like little mini carts that you could push around the grocery store. Just reminds me of the good old days.
And it's sure enough, and look at them, they're sweeping, cleaning up and everything. And we spoke with an HEB spokesperson about what this event is really for.
Being able to understand how the real world works and whenever you're going to get a product and therefore giving a service that backs that. Listening to these kids today, be there for their customers, wanting to clean up the aisles, trying to help each other choose what products they're going to get to make their families for dinner. It's been really cool to see that and to capture that at such a young age.
Now, not only is this fun for the kids, but also it helps introduce them, like I said, to a wide range of skills. And once the time is up, they all cleaned up for the next round of shoppers to pass on through. Thanks for joining us here on Wake Up West Texas Extra. Ethan and I have to take a moment to give our viewers on television a First Alert 7 news and weather update. So don't go anywhere. A lot more fun to come right after this quick break. Stay with us.
From First Alert 7 News, this is a Wake Up West Texas news and weather update.
Morning, everyone. Time now is 7:26 on this finally Friday morning. Good to have you with us here. I'm Matthew Alvarez here alongside meteorologist Sawyer McElroy with a check. I'm sorry. I'm just getting into my routine. He's filling in for meteorologist Sawyer McElroy, Ethan Yost. Ethan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matthew. It is a nice day ahead in terms of those temperatures. We're looking at another warm afternoon. Here's the big picture across the nation. You can see with a lot colder air starting to seep in across the northwestern U.S. That's all associated with a cold front that's going to roll through the area late tonight into your Saturday morning, making for a cool start to the weekend. But for today, very warm conditions are on the way with a high of 80 degrees. So warm, and also we're going to add an addition of a breeze, which is going to overlap some dry conditions to lead to some critical critical fire danger. We do have a red flag warning in effect through Friday evening across portions of the northwest Permian Basin, southeast New Mexico, down to the Davis Mountains. So if you're in that red shaded region this afternoon, make sure you avoid activities that could cause any sparks. Now, here are the numbers over the next 7 days. Again, tomorrow that cold front rolls through and we're back down to the low 60s for those daytime highs. Make sure to take advantage of it because we're back to the mid 70s by Sunday, and 70s look to be a common trend all the way through Thursday of next week. And by this time next week, we could be touching the 80s once again, so well above that average over the next 7 days. Now, in the future cast, we are looking at plenty of sunshine this afternoon, but also that breeze developing out of the west. Keep that in mind the rest of the day today. Overnight tonight, there could be a spotty shower or two that develops across the far eastern Permian Basin, but overall, most of us are going to stay dry. Heading into Saturday morning, cold front rolls through, winds pull out of the north, and that's going to make for a much cooler day on your Saturday. So here are the numbers over the next 10 days, down to 63 on your Saturday, but again, does not last long because we're back to the 70s by Sunday, and slight rain chances look to continue into next week.
Ethan, thank you. Let's turn now to some breaking political news from overnight, where West Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez has ended his bid for re-election, saying that he will finish his current term, though. The Republican made the announcement last night in an official statement released on social media. The post came hours after GOP leaders publicly called for Gonzalez to step down. Last month, reports surfaced that claimed Gonzalez had a relationship with a former district staffer, a violation of House rules. The staffer later committed suicide. Gonzalez confirmed the affair in an interview on Wednesday, but did not mention it in his social media post. Gonzalez had been set to face Brandon Herrera in a GOP primary runoff on May 26th. Let's turn now to tracking crime in Pecos County, where the sheriff's office tells us a welfare check on Interstate 10 west of Fort Stockton led to a high-speed chase across 2 counties Wednesday. Deputies found 34-year-old Eduardo Otero Oguin. He took off and was later arrested quite a ways down after spike strips stopped his vehicle. We'll have another check of the news and weather in half an hour. Keep it right here on First Alert 7.
At Gray Digital Media, we develop the right message to grab attention and drive leads with custom strategies designed to grow your brand. Crush the streaming apps you know best. Cutting-edge strategies backed by local expertise. Connect you with customers right here in West Texas and wherever your audience is. Get results that matter to you and your business. GDM West Texas, we know local. Let's connect today. GDMWestTexas.com. Here in the Permian Basin, change can come fast, but you don't have to be caught off guard. At First Alert 7,
we are going to be looking at scattered showers and thunder showers.
We track every shift, big or small, and when we know, you'll know.
Here's what we're tracking here on the Weather Makers map.
We are continuing to see some showers and thunderstorms.
Plan your day clearly and easily with the First Alert Weather Team. Changes will happen, but with First Alert 7 weather, you'll be ready.
The cornerstone of Investigate TV is investigative journalism.
Should this be better regulated?
How big of a problem is that?
We always try to give viewers a takeaway, something they can learn from a story.
Should they be revoking these certifications?
The public has a right to know.
There are things that affect our homes, that affect our families, that affect our health, that we are learning every day from these stories.
It allows us to tell the best of the best stories and show them to you every day.
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
Watch on MeTV Channel 30.2. From First Alert 7 News, with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching Wake Up West Texas.
XTRA, good morning to you, and thank you so much for waking up with us on this finally Friday morning. How's technology doing for you today?
Not very good.
I can tell. I was just looking at your screen.
Yeah, my splash top's not working again. It's freezing on me, but you know,
nothing worked for him today.
Yeah, the remote was freezing up. The splash top's freezing. You know, technology.
Have you considered packing up and going home for the day?
I have. I've already considered that.
Maybe this is it. This is it for today.
But hey, we're making it. We're pushing through. But
we are.
You know, technology, it's great until it doesn't work.
Well, isn't that the case? That's very true. Speaking of technology, something we've had break several times is our West Texas Weighs In poll, which sometimes will not show the poll, but today it is. Which planet in our solar system has the longest day? That's our trivia question of the hour. Let us know what you think. We have a pretty good spread now of answers. Earth? Now, I'm not going to criticize someone who just, I hate to do that.
Yeah, I understand.
But maybe you're right. You're not right. I really don't think you are. And I don't know the answer, I'll be honest. Don't Google it either. It's not fun if you Google it.
With 36% going Venus, now they're making me second guess my answer because I guessed Mercury.
I put Saturn kind of just for the fun of it, yeah. But I don't know the answer. I genuinely don't know. Your answer makes scientific sense. But
I could be getting the two planets mixed up, though. But I'm almost 100% sure it's Mercury.
Our tiny neighbors.
We'll see. That's why it's it's a question for you to answer, and we'll see. Well, again, we'll get the answer by the end of the hour.
Is this an Easter egg? But those, I don't know if they are, but the planets are actually in order here from the sun out.
Yes, they are.
Was that on purpose? Oh, it was on purpose. Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, but you're missing two planets. You know which ones they are? Yes, but then
why don't you tell us?
The last one, Pluto, is the one I'm mostly.
It's not a planet.
It's not a planet. That's the thing. The debate is there. I'm not talking about Uranus. I'm talking about Pluto.
It is a dwarf planet.
Yeah, so technically not included in the solar system, which is unfortunate.
But yeah,
growing up, I still remember being taught that Pluto was in our solar system.
Oh, I was even, I believe, taught that back when I was a kid, but I think that switched up pretty quickly.
Quickly, yep. They were like, nope, that's actually wrong.
It was controversial for a while. Some people just couldn't get, with the idea that, it's too small.
It's too small to actually be a planet. It's
I
more
believe
of like a moon.
it's not much bigger. I'm not sure. It might be smaller than the moon.
Let's look it up.
If I'm right about that.
Is Pluto smaller than La Luna? Okay, let's see. Yes, Pluto is significantly smaller than the Earth's moon. Yeah. I didn't know that, Ethan. That's great to know. So it has a diameter of only 1,473 miles, diameter being all the way around. Pluto is only about 2/3 the width of the moon. The moon is 2,159 miles in diameter.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's insane.
Yeah, I guess, that kind of gives you an idea of why it's called a dwarf planet, because it's even smaller than our moon.
Our moon could be a planet.
Yeah, right. I mean, you got some moons around Jupiter that are just massive.
They're almost Earth-sized. Europa.
Titan, is that a Jupiter moon?
Titan, I think, is the largest one.
Yeah, and that one's I think almost the size of Earth, if not larger than Earth. I can't remember the exact size of that either, but you get crazy sizes out there.
And Ganymede, the largest moon in the entire solar system. Larger than Mercury and Pluto. Well, of course, everything's larger than Pluto. But let us know what you think. Go to first37.com/vote. A new poll has spawned. Is Pluto a planet? Well, scientifically, no.
In your opinion, how will we put that at the end? In your opinion, is Pluto a planet?
Should it be included
Should it be included?
Yeah, there you go.
In the list of planets.
I'm going to vote yes, even though you completely scientifically disprove the reason why. I just feel like for nostalgia, a race has formed. Okay, this is getting interesting as we speak.
It's weird that we don't call it a planet. It's technically not our planet, but we still call it a dwarf
planet. But you're right, but it still is not included. Yeah, interesting. Belinda says she's going with Venus, by the way, on the poll of the longest day in the solar system.
Okay.
But she's like, LOL, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of second guessing my answer too, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll have the answer for you coming up in about less than 25 minutes or so. What's our other poll questions of the morning we're following? In your opinion, which country has the best food in the world? Obviously a loaded question. There are more countries than this list even has. I could go down the list. Moroccan food. There's Spain.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like no one has voted France yet.
I'm trying to think, like a baguette.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what all would constitute as French food. I guess there's not too much of that around here in the United States.
If there is, let us know where.
But yeah, I went with Italy, at least for this list, just because I'm a big fan of pasta, and of course, pizza being a top 3 for me. Italy has got to go on there for that list.
Some examples of French food: macaroons.
Okay.
And of course, the big famous one. Can you guess which one? This one's based on a Disney movie.
I cannot.
Sorry, other way around. Ratatouille. Have you seen Ratatouille?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Ratatouille is a French food.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's that dish that looks very satisfying when they make it.
Ratatouille, the like concept of it doesn't sound good, but when you look at it, it looks very
Gorgeous.
good.
I'm looking at it right now on Google.
But Ratatouille is actually one of my favorite movies of all time.
Me too.
Believe it or not.
Love Ratatouille.
Fantastic.
Belinda says United States. That's what I went with as well because we are the melting pot of the world. I feel like we have all of the best food in one-ish big location.
You just can't go wrong with the United States. Like we were talking about, it's just so diverse. You can get basically everything on this list just being in the United States.
Yeah, that's true. Does Great Britain get to be on this list? I'm just curious your thoughts on that, by the way. Another poll question we want you to answer this morning. In your opinion, which is scarier, Ethan?
I think I'd have to go with, you know, earlier I was saying Haunted Mansion, but I kind of agree with what you said earlier. With
It's just an old house, right?
A shady city alley.
Ugh.
Just because, you know, that actually poses, you know, physical danger. It could pose physical danger, whereas, you know, it depends on who you are, but mentally it could be scary with the other three.
It depends on how, your mental fortitude on the other three.
Yeah, that would be my answer, number 4.
But Dark Forest as well, that's true. There are a lot of animals and bugs and things and reptiles that could hurt you. So that's a good answer as well. But Ethan and I are on the 52 percentile of a shady city alleyway. On that note, also, we're curious, do you believe in the paranormal? 67% say yes. I'm very surprised.
See, I feel like, you know, earlier I was kind of leaning on the yes. I was kind of like not really sure. So I think I'm going to stick with the I'm not sure because, you know.
I should vote I'm not sure too because it's like half yes, half no.
Yeah.
What is paranormal? What's the definition? It's a broad scope.
It is a very broad scope. And well, I guess if you do have an answer for this, yes or no, let us know in the comments why. And if you've had any quote unquote paranormal events and what those were.
You know, I love hearing about those. I think those are fascinating. So,
yeah, exactly.
Belinda says Dark Forest and Alleyway are now tied, and she says yes to this question.
Okay.
So good to know. Thank you, Belinda, for chiming in and letting us know. You can do so by going to firstalert7.com/vote. Scan the QR code right there on your screen. And also, take us with you wherever you go. Work, grocery store. We have fun every single morning here on the show. You never know what we're going to do. You can watch us live on your connected TV, phone, or tablet. That is going to be streaming live from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning. Let's go ahead and take a look now at what we have for you. I'm curious what's going to pop up here as we go to our cameras outside. Let's see what we have. Do you know this skyline, Ethan? We're playing the City Skyline game.
Oh, we're doing this again. See, if you were here for Wake Up West Texas Extra yesterday, you know that I am terrible at this, and Matthew is going to beat me.
This is an iconic skyline,
See,
but
even
it's not the
iconic
most.
skylines are even hard for me. See, you
Which
would
makes
think
it
I'd
even more
recognize
fun.
that big building on the left, but I don't.
That is the AT&T Tower. Not that that helps you whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'll give you a hint. This is going to be inside of, well, that kind of gives it away. AT&T City.
Give me like a region of the country.
I don't know what this is called. It's in the Midwest, kind of. It's
Great Lakes.
What is that? Let me see. What would be a good? Sorry, I figure I'd have a better hint for you. Let me give you an idea of where this is. You have been to this state.
I've been to this state.
So maybe that's something. So list on your list of states. I don't know if you're like really well traveled. You probably are. But on your list of states, you have been to this state. It is neighbors. This state neighbors Illinois. I'm sorry, Missouri and Illinois.
So it neighbors Illinois and Missouri.
Let me see.
So you're still not giving me any
Well,
help,
not
Matthew.
quite. No, it's actually, that's true. No, Missouri is a better example.
Just give me the answer, Matthew.
Okay.
I'm embarrassing myself. I'm embarrassing myself here. We're going to be here all Wake Up West Texas Extra. I'm going to sit here and think about it.
It's the home of country music, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, see,
Would you have ever guessed that?
No.
Never
I was
in the-
thinking like Iowa or something. Like you were thinking.
That's true.
near
Oh, no, I was
Missouri,
too far
Illinois.
off. That guess was not great from my part. Iowa. That's not a bad guess because it's on the other side of Illinois.
Yeah.
But no, this is Nashville, Tennessee. Isn't that fantastic view?
It is a very fantastic view. And I've never been to Nashville. Never actually been into Nashville. I've traveled past it, but not
For
actually
reference,
been
I
in the
had the
physical
hint
city.
right about you visiting the state, just not the region.
Yes, I have visited the state. I have visited the eastern part of the state across the Smoky Mountains.
Yes. Oh, something I would love to go see. That right there, by the way, is the Cumberland River on the bottom part of your screen. What a beautiful start to the day there as well. As we look at our iCam network now to see what we're looking at outside. This is Odessa. Looks nice out there, Ethan.
It does look very nice out there. We're looking at a lot more sunshine to start the day than we did yesterday. We started with a lot of cloudiness
Clouds,
yesterday.
yes.
Now, they did break by the afternoon, but a lot better of a start today. The temperature there about 61 degrees. And much the same across the area today, seeing plenty of sunshine out there.
You can't get. I can move them if you want, Ethan. Would that be?
Can you move them from there?
I can, yes.
Okay, well then let's go around town.
Okay.
Then.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were.
My splash top doesn't
He's
want to
looking
work
at his
today.
computer just like.
Yeah, it just
I'm
wants
sorry.
to freeze.
I forget. Okay, we'll go across the other parts of the area as well. So I'm bringing up now Fort Stockton, the plateau. Wow, look at that.
Nice sunrise there. Also crystal clear skies.
You know where I like to look also? One of my favorite cameras is Pecos. Pecos looks pretty nice out there this morning. We can actually, let's look towards Interstate 20 because in that area there's this nice curve I like to look at. There's some construction going on in this area here. As we turn towards, this is going to be the east-northeast. There it is, a beautiful start to the day there this morning. Traffic actually looks like it's moving along pretty nicely. Not a whole lot of traffic on this Friday morning commute. A lot of big rigs out there as usual. You can see the McDonald's in the distance there if you're very familiar with Pecos. But looks very, very nice out there to start the morning across the Trans-Pecos region. But also something else we like to show you is one of our favorite cameras, and that is going to be Presidio. We like to see Presidio as well. I'm trying to pull it up here.
Yeah, Presidio is a nice landscape.
It is. It's
what I like.
so different from what we see here in Midland, Odessa, that it looks really good out there. I'm popping it up now on your screen. Look at that beautiful shot. It's slowly, there it is.
Oh, yes.
Popping
Definitely
up very nicely.
view.
Let me bring in our iCam there. There we go. Looks great. The moon. Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. There's no. Where's the moon? Oh, here's the moon. Oh, there it is, right in the top part of the screen there.
Yep, already popping up this morning.
Oh boy, that's funny. Let's head over to Midland now, where it's just overblown, this camera, with the sunshine this morning. Looking pretty good out there at Interstate 20. Something else we like to do, we can look across the entire country. This is a city that I've wanted to go to, in a place where, with an iconic landmark in the view of this camera, if the preview is the same as the current live shot. The Bean in Chicago.
Yes. Been to Chicago one time in my life.
Have you? Okay, Chloe,
yeah,
you did mention that. That's right.
Back in middle school, but that was it. And it was only for 2 days.
Let's go to Rhode Island, Middletown, Rhode Island. Excuse me. Look at this view.
Looks a little hazy there. Mostly cloudy skies. Maybe a little mist in the air.
Mm-hmm. Goodness gracious, that's not too bad. Not a nice start to the day. One of my favorite cameras as of late, Ethan, that you kind of showed me, is this one in Austin.
Oh yeah, that's a nice look at the skyline there.
Beautiful, beautiful shot there in Austin. Yesterday, though, stormy day in Dallas, over in North Texas there, as we look live downtown.
And they got more opportunities today as well.
Are there? Okay, so even more expected there.
Yeah.
Possibly as we wrap up our iCam tour. We have, speaking of, we'll head over to, oh yes, that's a good segue. If I go to the map here, let me move up over here. I'm heading to our city that really got slammed by a lot of weather yesterday. I'm finding a good view of downtown, if I can find it. Give me just a moment. Let's see what we have here. There's a big area downtown that I like to show. That's the Capitol.
So they got a lot of cameras, it seems like.
They do. They have multiple cameras. That'd be nice, having in one city.
Yeah.
12, 13 different cameras. This is downtown Oklahoma City. That's the Devon Energy Tower there, glowing in the distance right there. Looking great out there to start off this Friday morning. Excuse me, it's not Monday morning. But also in Oklahoma, look at this incredible video from just last night, Ethan. Look at that. A large funnel-shaped cloud. I've seen so many different reports of it being a tornado. It's not a tornado. I mean, likely to be. I mean, look at the lowering on that. I froze it and zoomed it in so you could get a closer look. Just your analysis on this.
Yeah, it does look like there's definitely a lowering there, which, you know, a lot of time can just represent what we call a wall cloud.
Sure, okay.
Which doesn't mean necessarily there's a tornado on the ground. And from my view here, it's still really hard to tell. Like, it doesn't look like...
It's very mushy, the
very descriptively
image.
Whether there's, you know, a tornado physically on the ground. But what is certain is that there were tornadoes around in northwest Oklahoma last night. So it's very well possible that this storm eventually did produce a tornado in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, it looks like a couple of lives were lost in part of this storm system that moved through. I think it was in a vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, that got caught up in the storm, possibly tornadic activity.
Yeah, there was, I believe, a couple of stronger tornadoes yesterday, too. I believe one of them is so far estimated to be EF2 or EF3. So they're going to do some damage surveys, as they always do. They survey the damage, and that's how they get an estimate of the wind speeds in a tornado and assign a rating. So
and go from there.
That's what they usually do the day after the event. But today they might hold off because Oklahoma is under the gun again today for some more severe weather.
Goodness, so they're just not getting a break today. Interesting video, though, I wanted your analysis on. Let's now move to Atlanta, where there's a presence with a wagging tail that brings a sense of calm to the courtroom. This is Icy. She's a pit bull who sits beside defendants in court on a daily basis. Icy's a rescue who was once abused and even shot. Superior Court Judge Emily Richardson said she fell for the pooch last year at a canine cellmate's graduation. In a matter of weeks, the judge adopted her, and, well, now she's part of her courtroom.
I do not blame the judge for falling for that dog.
No, me neither. Look at the dog with the tail and pokey ears. Now in a loving home, Icy is helping many in court find strength. Look at her ears.
She is very, very cute. Makes me want to go and pet the dog right now.
Me too, yes. Let's turn now to soccer. Of course, that has a World Cup, but cheese is actually what we're talking about. It has a distinguished world title. This year's winner of the World Championship Cheese Contest was crowned in Madison, Wisconsin yesterday. The winning team hails from the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah.
Their cheese, Beemster Royal Grand Cru, scored 98.68 out of 100. There it is. Interesting looking wheel of cheese. 25 countries and 34 U.S. states and territories were represented in this competition.
And a big question we had yesterday was, were you a cheese lover? And we both answered that we're cheese lovers, and this would be a fantastic event to go judge.
I'd like to see if there's a cheese that will make me just not want to eat it, because there's some cheeses I don't think I would like.
Well, there's very unique cheeses out there, especially like, we were talking about which foods we like around the country. France is one of those options, and they got a lot of very unique cheeses there.
There's like moldy cheese you can eat. Blue cheese is something I don't like that at all.
Yeah, blue cheese is one I don't like. I haven't tried, a lot of the very unique stuff. Like there's even stuff like, blueberry cheese.
Oh, that would be kind of nice.
Yeah,
Sweet and salty,
interesting, cheese combinations nowadays.
Yeah. I have to go check that out. So maybe it's on the bucket list eventually to go to Madison, Wisconsin for the World Cheese Championships. One canine deputy from Ohio is in the doghouse. Moby with the Lucas County Sheriff's Office is accused of the gruesome shredding of a lamb toy. Look at that. The tongue-in-cheek investigation led to Moby being the top suspect, largely because, according to authorities, there were, quote, zero signs of forced entry. Officers described the scene as disturbing, with stuffing being scattered all around the floor. The department believes it has figured out the motive of the crime. The squeak toy appears to have been too tempting for Moby to resist.
Hey, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they don't know anything. These are cameras. Was the officer wearing a body camera?
Yeah, we got no evidence, not admissible.
That's true. That's true. Look at that. There's the suspect with the mugshot and all. That's a pretty cool video.
It is.
Look at how he runs around, runs right through. He knows exactly where he's going. And there's the doorknob. Can't quite get it.
He's making it obvious now.
Oh, he got it. Got it. And there we go.
Yes.
Well, a popular fast food chain, meanwhile, wants to pay you six figures, Ethan, just to eat.
Really?
Wendy's is on the nationwide search for a chief tasting officer. For $100,000 a year, you'll taste Wendy's menu items, create content, share creative feedback, and help the company keep a pulse on what's trending in fast food. The job description leans into humor, saying applicants just need a mouth, a pulse, and strong opinions about the brand's food. The remote role also requires very little travel. Wendy says you can expect to go to places like your local Wendy's and or the couch. To apply, candidates must submit a video showing why they're the perfect personality hire, and of course be sure to show off their tasting skills.
Well, it sounds like a nice money to get from this, but I gotta say, I don't think I would enjoy the job.
Really?
See, I just got asked by our director, do I like Wendy's? Not very much.
You don't? Oh, you really don't? I didn't know that. Belinda says, you're doing a great job. Okay, thank you very much. That's very nice.
Thank you.
Not to interrupt the story here, but I love the comments. Thank you, Belinda, for leaving a note like that. That's very nice. I think I'd be the man for the job.
You think so?
So I'll get vulnerable now. So when I was 10 years old, around that time, I was obsessed with Wendy's.
Oh, really?
I love their food so much. And I had my 10th birthday party at the Wendy's.
Really?
That's how much I loved it.
That's awesome. I love to hear that.
That's
like,
a great
why
story.
Would you?
I don't like Wendy's.
Hey, I'm not saying I never loved never liked Wendy's, but today it's not, something I
It's not, yes.
I never make a choice to say, oh, I want to go to Wendy's
I
today.
mean, me being such a health fanatic, I'm extremely healthy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I do enjoy Wendy's still to this day. I appreciate that they offer things like the $5 biggie bag, the things like that, the 4 for $4.
They have good deals. That is definitely the thing about Wendy's. And I will say, they're not bad. Like, I said, I'm not a fan of them, but they're not bad. It's not my thing.
It's not your top pick.
It's kind of like, a Burger King or like a,
just anything else.
It's just like a typical, it's fast food. It's what it is.
It was a whole thing. And by the way, a shout out, this was the Wendy's on Andrews Highway in Odessa. They had one of their employees dress up in a Wendy's clown. I had a hamburger cake. It was
Really?
amazing. I'll have
That
to show
is
you some
awesome.
pictures sometimes. That was what, 2007 at this point? So
I got to see those photos.
it was pretty fun. It was one of my favorite birthday parties, probably my favorite ever, and it was held at Wendy's. So if you need a guy who could use $100K a year to do that, I would be willing to.
Wendy's. We have a guy right here for you.
There you go. Although you have to let me stay working this job. I'm not leaving this job for any amount of money. That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm staying right here. So you have to let me continue to do extra and also be the Wendy's taste test. I can do both. I think I can handle that.
Just do it on Extra.
Exactly.
Do a taste test of Wendy's on Extra.
And then maybe we can sponsor it and it'll be a whole thing for sure. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with, of course, another bit of polling, but also a Wake Up West Texas news and weather update. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
At Gray Digital Media, we develop the right message to grab attention and drive leads with custom strategies designed to grow your brand. Crush the streaming apps you know best. Cutting-edge strategies backed by local expertise. Connect you with customers right here in West Texas and wherever your audience is. Get results that matter to you and your business. GDM West Texas, we know local. Let's connect today. GDMWestTexas.com. Here in the Permian Basin, change can come fast, but you don't have to be caught off guard. At First Alert 7,
We are going to be looking at scattered showers and thunder showers.
we track every shift, big or small. And when we know, you'll know.
Here's what we're tracking here on the Weather Makers map.
We are continuing to see some showers and thunderstorms.
Plan your day clearly and easily with the First Alert Weather Team. Changes will happen, but with First Alert 7 weather, you'll be ready.
The cornerstone of Investigate TV is investigative journalism.
Should this be better regulated?
How big of a problem is that?
We always try to give viewers a takeaway, something they can learn from a story.
Should they be revoking these certifications?
The public has a right to know.
There are things that affect our homes, that affect our families, that affect our health, that we are learning every day from these stories.
It allows us to tell the best of the best stories and show them to you every day.
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
Watch on MeTV Channel 30.2. At Gray Digital Media, we develop the right message to grab attention and drive leads with custom strategies designed to grow your brand. Crush the streaming apps you know best. Cutting-edge strategies backed by local expertise. Connect you with customers right here in West Texas and wherever your audience is. Get results that matter to you and your business. GDM West Texas, we know local. Let's connect today. GDMWestTexas.com. Here in the Permian Basin, change can come fast, but you don't have to be caught off guard. At First Alert 7,
We are going to be looking at scattered showers and thunder showers.
we track every shift, big or small. And when we know, you'll know.
Here's what we're tracking here on the Weather Makers map.
We are continuing to see some showers and thunderstorms.
Plan your day clearly and easily with the First Alert Weather Team. Changes will happen, but with First Alert 7 weather, you'll be ready.
Welcome back to Wake Up West Texas Extra. Let's check out our polls really quick before we get to a news and weather update. Do you believe in the paranormal is one of our questions, 67% to 33%. Go to firstalert7.com/vote. Can you bring up our trivia question of the hour before we give you the answer? Which planet in our solar system has the longest day? Let us know what you think. Ethan voted for
Mercury.
I voted for Saturn. We'll tell you the answer coming up in about 4 more minutes here. But now for a quick news and weather update for our TV viewers on First Alert 7. More Wake Up West Texas Extra continues right after this quick break. So stay with us.
From First Alert 7 News, this is a Wake Up West Texas news and weather update.
Good morning, everyone. Time now is 7:56 on this finally Friday morning. I'm Matthew Alvarez here alongside meteorologist Ethan Yost for a check of the forecast. Ethan, good morning. How's the day starting out?
Good morning, Matthew. Yeah, it's looking like a nice start to the day and another warm afternoon on the way. We'll look at the current temperature to start off your forecast. With current temperatures this morning right around 60 degrees in the Midland, Odessa area. A little bit cooler as you work your way to the southwest. Still in the 40s in Pecos, 39 now in Fort Davis, and 41 in Marfa. And as always, again, we are looking at warmer conditions on the way, at least for the afternoon. But as we head in towards the weekend, we have this cold front that's rolling in from the north. You can see all that colder air seeping in across the northwestern U.S., and that cold front is going to roll through tonight and make for a cooler start to the weekend. But here's your forecast for today. High of 80 degrees across most locations, warm and breezy, and combine the dry air. And we are looking at some critical fire danger this afternoon, particularly across western counties of our viewing area in the red shaded region. So if you are in the red area, make sure you are avoiding activities that could cause sparks through the afternoon and evening. Here are the numbers over the next 7 days. And again, cold front moves through tonight into tomorrow morning. That's going to make for a much cooler start to the weekend with a high of 63. Warmer end of the weekend, back up to 76 for your Sunday, and then we warm into the 70s all week next week, and then touching 80 by this time next week. So well above average warmth looks to continue over at least the next 7 days. Now on the futurecast, again, showing plenty of sunshine here through the afternoon. Breezy westerly winds leading to that fire weather danger through this afternoon. Cold front moves through overnight tonight. That may spark up a weak shower across the eastern Permian Basin, but overall it's looking like a dry and warm day on the way for your Friday.
Ethan, thank you very much. Breaking political news from overnight. West Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez of the 23rd District has ended his bid for re-election, saying that he will, though, finish his current term. The Republican made the announcement official in a statement last night on social media. The post came hours after GOP leaders publicly called for Gonzalez to step down. Last month, reports surfaced that claimed Gonzalez had a relationship with the former district staffer, a violation of House rules. The staffer later committed suicide. Gonzalez confirmed the affair in an interview on Wednesday, but did not mention it in his social media post. Congressman Gonzalez had been set to face off against Brandon Herrera in a GOP primary runoff on May 26th. Tracking crime in Midland, now police need your help in finding these two women accused of stealing from Target. Crime Stoppers say they left the store and got into a black pickup driven by an unknown person. If you know them, call Midland Crime Stoppers at 694-8477. In Odessa, 2 people with felony warrants arrested near the area of Maple and Duran. That's what the scene was. Apparently, they were just searching the area for the two and searching the 2 suspects. No word on their identities. We'll have another check of the news and weather in half an hour. Join us for Wake Up West Texas Extra, streaming on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Make it a great day.
At Gray Digital Media, we develop the right message to grab attention and drive leads. With custom strategies designed to grow your brand. Trust the streaming apps you know best. Cutting-edge strategies. Backed by local expertise. Connect you with customers right here in West Texas and wherever your audience is. Get results that matter to you and your business. GDM West Texas, we know local. Let's connect today. GDMWestTexas.com.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on First Alert 7. And then stay tuned for First Alert 7 News at 4. Here in the Permian Basin, change can come fast, but you don't have to be caught off guard. At First Alert 7,
we are going to be looking at scattered showers and thunder showers.
We track every shift, big or small. And when we know, you'll know.
Here's what we're tracking here on the Weather Maker's map.
We are continuing to see some showers and thunderstorms.
Plan your day clearly and easily with the First Alert Weather Team. Changes will happen, but with First Alert 7 weather, you'll be ready.
It's super, it's science, it's fiction.
What is it?
It's Super Sci-Fi Saturday night on MeTV. After Sven gets swept away in adventures beyond our world, promising spaceships, lasers, giants, other worlds, and robots.
I will do my part.
Super Sci-Fi Saturday night.
Watch on MeTV Channel 30.2. From First Alert 7 News, With studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching Wake Up West Texas.
Extra, good morning to you, and thank you so much for streaming with us here on Wake Up West Texas Extra on the First Alert 7 YouTube channel, Facebook page, our website, and our mobile news app. Wherever you go, you can take us with you. Good to have you here, Ethan Yost, as well.
Good to be here.
For Sawyer McRoy. Download our app on your connected TV, phone, or tablet. It's completely free of charge, and you can watch us here from Wake Up West Texas on your TV from 5 to 7, and then Wake Up West Texas Extra from 7 to 9 every weekday morning. But now is the time for our answer to our trivia question. Let's go ahead and bring it up on your screen there. Which planet in our solar system has the longest day? The choices were Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, or Saturn, with 36% voting for Venus. I voted for Saturn. Ethan Yost has the answer.
And I got my answers mixed up.
Did you? So you actually did, okay.
It's Venus.
Oh.
And actually, one day is longer than a year on Venus. So I got the two mixed up. So I thought it was Mercury that was the tidally locked planet, but it's actually Venus.
Okay.
So yeah, they have one day is 243 of our Earth days, and 1 year is 225 Earth days. So it's actually an additional 18 days for just 1 day.
1 day is an additional
for one rotation.
Earth days.
Yes.
Wow. That's incredible. So it takes over 2 weeks for it to make a revolution on its own axis. So there it is. 36% got it right.
Yeah, that was what was kind of making me like kind of iffy on my answer. I was like, did I mix up my planets? And I did.
You did, unfortunately so. Goodness gracious. Well, again, you can still vote on this poll, even if you haven't seen it. Maybe share it with a friend and ask them. We'll leave that up for the rest of the remainder of the day. So be sure and continue to vote. FirstAlert7.com/vote, where you'll be able to let us know what you think. Our next question is, in your opinion, which country has the best food in the world? Plenty of options here, Ethan.
Looks like Mexico's on the rise right now. They're at 36%. And you said United States, right?
I did, yep.
Yes,
I think that's my opinion.
Diverse, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I've gone with Italy. But if you have a different answer, let us know in the comments why you chose that answer.
Look at our trivia question of the hour. Which country has the longest coastline? Now that is a question. Okay. I'm going to go with Australia because it's literally an island.
That sounds like a great answer.
Is it a trick question, though? Is it not trick, but is it going to surprise me? Probably. Because Greenland, too, is also a form.
But then you got to think of the United States, the whole East Coast and West Coast.
It's very long.
That's very
true.
long.
Including longest coastline.
That's
Hawaii,
true.
if you're including those. Puerto Rico.
I don't think I'm going to go with Australia. Canada, no. Norway, I have no idea.
Norway, maybe, because it has a very... Boy, this is a tough one. So don't look it up.
I'm going to throw out a random answer. Let's go Russia.
Yeah. Sure.
Who knows?
Who knows? It's sure. They have a lot on the north side for the Arctic there. So you never know. Let us know what you think the answer is. Don't look it up because that's not fun. We'll give you the answer at 8:58 about that time, almost 9 o'clock. Which country has the longest coastline? Scan the QR code, vote on firstalert7.com/vote to be able to enter your answer there. We're looking for some scary answers this morning. In your opinion, which is scarier out of these options here? Looks like all of them are kind of getting some scenarios put up on the screen, some answers. A dark forest, an old cemetery, a haunted mansion, but the leader is a shady city alleyway, which is what I went with, Ethan, as well, because bad stuff happens in dark alleyways.
Yes, and like we were saying, it's more of like a physical threat than more of a, I'm scared if something could happen.
Existential, goodness.
Yes.
Our next one here, if you were a storm chaser, I'm sorry, I've clicked the wrong one again. If you're a storm chaser, which weather phenomenon would you want to see in person? 52% saying a thunderstorm because of, like you mentioned, the scenery, the amount of beauty that is in a thunderstorm structure that you may not be able to see if you're underneath the thunderstorm.
That's exactly right. And we've even got blizzards in there. I feel like that would probably be the worst thing to chase, not just because the visual of it, but the driving.
The safety aspect of it, yes, more so than...
drive through snow, blowing snow at 35 miles an hour, reducing visibility. It just sounds like a mess.
It sounds like an absolute mess.
And it's cold. I don't like the cold. So it just sounds like, a big winter mess.
And I was thinking about a hurricane, how interesting that would be, but it's so widespread that there's not a lot of places to not hide, but you can't really visually see a hurricane from Earth. It's more of something you see from space.
Yeah, see, a lot of people will actually go storm chasing on hurricanes as well. And a lot of what they'll do is, if you're familiar with the eye of a hurricane, it's usually, you know, around the eyes where the strongest part of the hurricane is. So usually people will try to track that eye and try to go where that's going to make landfall on the coast. Like, for instance, last year, the eye made landfall on the peninsula of Florida with Hurricane Milton. And people were trying to track exactly where that eye would be, and they set up right there, and they just sit in the wind and rain, pretty much.
Interesting, and just wait for it because of the stadium effect they're looking for?
Kind of, yeah.
That.
And then also what a lot of people will do as well, not a lot of people, just some, you know, extreme storm chasers. For instance, they will go like right on the coast, and, you know, there's a lot of flash flooding that'll happen, or storm surge, what we call. And you'll see people go right on the coast and just stand right in the middle of the flooding waters.
Of storm surge?
Big waves coming in. I'm like, what?
What for? For the
content,
like
I guess. Content.
Adrenaline.
You know, getting news out there. I'm not really sure. But yeah, there's a whole lot of different options out there. Hurricanes, blizzards, storms, tornadoes. I'm going for tornadoes for me.
Tornadoes for you. Okay, which you have done.
I have multiple times. I've seen quite a few of them. Going into this spring, I'll likely do more storm chasing. So
okay, well, good to know. There you go. I was going to say, would you consider doing it this spring now that you're in West Texas? Maybe get some good scenic thunderstorms even.
Yes, and the only problem is usually I don't get the opportunity to chase because usually, you know, I'm here, which, you know, is
You're
fine
first
with me.
alerting. That's right.
I would actually rather be here letting you guys know of the threats. But the chances that I do get to go storm chasing, I'll definitely take the opportunity.
Wonderful. All right there. Let us know what you think. FirstAlert7.com/vote as we take a live look now out at one of our cameras outside. So this skyline here is very nice. This is going to be Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City. They also have a severe threat later this afternoon.
Oh, interesting.
A pretty big severe weather threat.
Okay. This is from our station there, by the way, KCTV.
Yeah. Pretty nice view there. Mostly cloudy skies. It's a nice sunrise, though, there.
Very nice sunrise to start the day there. Not so much in our nation's capital. Again, it's going to kind of shimmy a little bit with black screen and rainbow color bars, and then you'll be able to see a look at our nation's capital, which has been inundated by fog. You can see the Washington Monument. If you look really hard and squint your eyes, it is right in the center of the screen.
They were seeing some fog yesterday, too, so they're just kind of in this foggy pattern.
Let's head now to a different part of the country as well. You'll recognize this, I think so, immediately.
We'll see.
we'll see. Take a look. Tell me what you think. Closer look, look a little harder to the left.
I see something that looks characteristic, but I forget where that is from.
Las Vegas.
Okay. See how bad I am?
Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. That is a very red building.
Those red buildings look cool.
Isn't that sphere neat? I love looking at the sphere there. Okay, no more asking you where things are.
Yeah, don't ask me that.
Let's go now to Hollywood. I want to see what this looks like as well. I'm sorry the screen keeps flashing, by the way. That's just the way it transitions. I don't know why it does that. Here's a closer look. Paramount, the water tower in Hollywood. Really cool there. That is a pretty neat start to the day. I just want to kind of show you around part of the area. We'll wrap things up as we head over to the gateway of the Midwest, St. Louis, Missouri.
My hometown.
Your hometown, that's right. Has one of our nice cameras. Our KMOV keeps up First Alert 4 there. Keeps their cameras up nice, so we like pulling them up here on your screen. Look at that. Wow, this is facing way outside the city.
Oh, yeah,
Look at that.
You can see the skyline way off in the background there.
Wow, fairly flat, actually, more than I realized.
Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it? It's
it
probably because this is right near the Mississippi River floodplain. So it could be that because they are right around the Mississippi River.
Fascinating.
There.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. St. Louis, Missouri on this beautiful Friday morning. As we take it back home, closer live look outside over the skies of Big Spring. Isn't that nice? The hotel settles there in the distance. I love that camera.
Very nice. I like that view.
One of our other favorite views, of course, to show you here on the show is of Presidio, south of our region there. Looking live out there. The desert scape looking pretty good, and some of the hills and mountains in the distances there. Not a bad start to the day over in that part of our area.
Yeah, not bad at all.
And it's also, we're going to we have time to look around a little bit further. Let's go down to Odessa this morning. As we look at that camera there, things are really getting along nicely on this Friday morning commute. We also, of course, I'm going to flip it around so we can get a look at 42nd Street, see how it's looking over there. This, of course, is on top of the Chase Bank building where it looks like they are doing some roof work. Wow, quite a bit going on there on the roof.
Oh yeah, there is some road, or not road.
There's some road work going around Odessa too. But yeah, 42nd Street looking pretty good out there as we start the day. Clear skies. I mean, truly not a cloud in the sky compared to 24 hours ago.
Yeah, not a cloud in sight.
We saw quite a bit of cloud cover yesterday.
I think we'll get away with really not seeing many clouds at all throughout the entire day. So it's looking like a picture perfect afternoon besides the breeze.
I was going to ask you, so I was thinking about going outside later today. Is blowing dust going to be a possibility with the gustiness today?
It depends on where you are. The Permian Basin, not as likely.
Okay.
I think that we'll get away with not seeing any too much blowing dust. Maybe some localized stuff, but you're not going to see this big wall of dust hitting.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, so we're not going to
haboob, but
nothing like that. But off to the west, near the mountain areas, I think they'll have some higher wind gusts over there. There could be some very localized areas to see some blowing dust.
Okay.
But here in the Permian Basin, Midland, Odessa, I think we'll scratch away without seeing that.
And we'll wrap things up with a look at the Tall City out there. Isn't that a nice start to the day there in the Tall City? Tall City's standing tall out here on this beautiful Friday morning. Right now, the temperature outside, it's 61 at the airport? Not looking too bad whatsoever.
And it's only going to go up from there.
Only going to go up from there. Yeah, right about that. Our high is 80?
80 degrees
80 degrees today. Okay. I'm glad I remembered. Well, speaking of, we're going to have a look at your First Alert 7 forecast with meteorologist Ethan Yost, diving into it a little bit further for not only today, but into the weekend and early next week as well in your 10-day forecast here on Wake Up West Texas Extra. Stay with us.
Now, from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's meteorologist Ethan Yost.
Well, happy Friday and good morning, everybody. We're looking at a nice start to the day with temperatures in the lower 60s, so you might be able to get away without a jacket this morning across most locations. Temperatures warm up this afternoon in a big way. We're looking at highs right around 80 degrees and also breezy winds, and combine the dry air. We are looking at critical to near critical fire danger across western counties this afternoon and evening. This weekend, though, some changes on the way with a cold front that's going to move through overnight tonight into your Saturday morning. That's going to set the stage for a cool start to the weekend and then a warm end to the weekend. Also going to bring some slight rain chances back to the forecast, but nothing widespread or a washout is anticipated. Now here's the big picture across the nation. As I said, we have a cold front that's on the way tomorrow, and you can see all that colder air seeping in across the western U.S. That cold front now in a position across the southern high plains and the northern high plains. That's going to drift to the south through the night tonight and again set the stage for a cooler day tomorrow. But for today, warm afternoon, highs around 80, warm conditions, plenty of sunshine and breezy conditions out of the southwest at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Combine the dry air, we have critical to near critical fire danger across western counties. Red flag warning is in effect through Friday evening across all the red shaded region here. So if you are in the red shaded region, make sure you are doing no outdoor burning and avoid avoiding activities that may cause sparks through the afternoon and evening. Now, here are the numbers over the next 10 days. Again, tomorrow we do have a cold front rolling through, and look at that temperature. We're back to the low 60s for your daytime highs. So a nice start to the weekend, and then we end the weekend in the 70s. So take advantage of Saturday while it lasts, because we're going to stick in the 70s all the way through next week and touching 80 by this time next week. So a very above average pattern on the way once again. And for the rest of the day today, plenty of sunshine out there, as I just said, breezy winds out of the west. And then overnight tonight, that cold front moves through. That may spark up a weak shower or thunderstorm across the far eastern Permian Basin. But by the time it forms, it's going to be moving out. And so by the time you notice it's there, it's going to be gone. Then we start Saturday morning. Here's 8 a.m. with a cold front rolling through. You can see those breezy north winds. That's going to funnel in a cooler air mass for the afternoon. Also plenty of sunshine through the day as well. So looking like a nice start to the weekend. Maybe a couple light showers across southwestern portions of the viewing area, but again, not a washout and not widespread by any means. Now, as we head into the next 10 days, though, we are looking at some changes once again. For this afternoon, a high of 80 degrees, breezy, and then Saturday, look at that, back down to 63, up to 76 by Sunday. Very slight rain chances on Saturday and Sunday. The better rain chances come back into effect on your Monday and especially Tuesday. That's going to come along with another warm up as we head into next week. Highs back to the 70s by Sunday. That continues all the way through the end of next week.
Okay, yeah, this forecast, it's looking interesting. So 80 today, 63 tomorrow. Now, with that cold front that comes in, what is the timing of when we should expect that wind shift?
Yeah, the wind shift happens tomorrow morning. So I would say when you wake up tomorrow morning, probably about 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, you start to see those winds shift out of the north, and they'll be breezy. And so what's at the north? Cooler air. So since it's so breezy, it's going to be very efficient at bringing that cooler air in. So that's why we're dropping by 17 degrees compared to today.
I want to pick your brain for a second. Margarita says thank you, by the way.
Of course.
I want to pick your brain a little bit. I don't think we discuss that enough or often enough. We don't have time to usually, especially in the newscast. A lot of folks don't realize how much wind actually affects our temperatures, wind direction specifically. Is there any explanation give kind of in layman's terms about why typically when the winds are out of the north, we see cooler air, when other directions it's warmer air?
Yeah, so we can get weak and we can get strong cold fronts, and it really depends on where the front originates from. Like a lot of the time we'll get cold fronts that'll form off of the Rocky Mountains, like in Colorado. It's not very cold in Colorado typically. Sometimes it can be, but in most cases, it's not much different than what it is down here. Now, if you get a cold front that originates from Canada, that's well off the north, very cold. Now, the air mass does modify as it moves to the south, but it still pulls in that colder air. And so if a front rolls through and it's really out of the north and it's strong and it's persistent, that's how you get the really cold air to move in. But if you get like a front that moves in from the west, like from the Pacific, you're just going to get more moisture, maybe a dry west wind, kind of like today. We're kind of getting that dry west wind, and that'll kind of filter in by tomorrow.
So that's how it affects our temperature and everything else that's going on.
I hope I answered your question there.
You did. Yeah, no, fascinating. I just always want to pick your brain, of course, on that kind of stuff. It interests me, of course, and also our viewers at home who maybe don't have the full idea of how the weather comes together and kind of affects our region here, especially in West Texas, where things can really change on a dime for sure.
That's right.
Let's turn now to Odessa, where there was a special event. The Chamber of Commerce hosted an event focused on women's empowerment, leadership, and opportunity yesterday.
First Alert 7 Sierra Burnett spoke with keynote speaker and Olympic medalist Nancy Kerrigan about the message she hopes to leave with women across West Texas.
The She Can Women's Conference started in 2020 in honor of National Women's Day and Week. The first conference was held online and since has grown into an all-day event to empower and inspire women in the workforce. This year, there were 500 attendees from around West Texas to celebrate women.
It's really a wonderful time for them to look forward to just coming together, the sisterhood of showing support. We've talked about, some of our speakers have mentioned, as women, we don't need to compete with each other. We need to lift each other up.
And that's exactly what the Odessa Chamber of Commerce set out to do. They invited two-time Olympic figure skating medalist Nancy Kerrigan to serve as the event's keynote speaker. She spoke about perseverance, entrepreneurship, mental health, and the power of women supporting women.
I'm not from this community, so it's an honor to be asked to come in as the keynote speaker to hopefully inspire people to go after their dreams and persevere through tough times and just make a difference.
During the conference, organizers also honored retired educator and city council member Mara Spivey Willis. She says when hundreds of women come together in a space like this, it becomes more than just a conference. It becomes a moment of empowerment.
When you get 500 women together, you've got woman power deluxe overdrive. So it's just great, and what's important to me is that it's everybody, like I told them earlier, you can, I want everybody to be empowered to know that she can, I'm she.
Events like this help create a space where women can share experiences, build connections, and encourage the next generation of leaders. Reporting for First Alert 7 News, I'm Sierra Burnett.
All right, very fascinating event. Glad to have Nancy Kerrigan in Odessa. Really inspirational as well.
Yes.
Putting her forth her perseverance, going through what she went through, and also sharing that knowledge with a lot of folks who are growing up in our community, females especially, but also well-established entrepreneurs who are always willing to learn more. So
yeah, 100%.
Really glad to see it. Speaking of learning, Burleson Early Elementary School in Odessa had a special treat. They had a new way that their students can develop skills, and it's through pretend shopping at HEB.
The play space gives the kids a fun way to develop important skills and build real-world experience.
With a grant from HEB, Burleson has created their own HEB market. As you can see here, some of the kids are cashiers, others are stocking the shelves. The market includes all the areas you would see in a normal grocery store, like fresh produce, a bakery, and canned food aisles. While some scan the shelves with carts and baskets, others help run the checkouts, food stalls, and restock popular products. Everything is built to be accessible to Burleson's 3- and 4-year-olds.
Being able to understand how the real world works and whenever you're going to get a product and therefore giving a service that backs that. Listening to these kids today, be there for their customers, wanting to clean up the aisles, trying to help each other choose what products they're going to get to make their families for dinner. It's been really cool to see that and to capture that at such a young age.
Not only is it fun for the kids, but it helps introduce them to a range of new and developing skills, including social skills, math skills, and matching and sorting skills.
He's got to get your hands on the broom there. He's trying to sweep. Goodness gracious. I love watching this video here. Some of them are, okay, there's H.E. Buddy.
Oh,
H.E. Buddy's
so
their
that's
mascot.
the mascot.
He's a paper bag.
A paper bag.
Yes, with his sticker there. I love watching some of the kids in right there. They've gone to the grocery store, but they're kind of learning at the same time. So this one's checking out.
That's what all this is a learning experience.
She has her tortillas, I just saw.
They're going to start off things doing the wrong way. They learn from their mistakes, and they do it the right way.
That's true. And she has got it in hand. Look at her scanning the item into the bag.
No,
How awesome is that? What a great setup. I mean, I wish I had that when I was growing up.
I know, a very nice learning experience. It gets them to interact with each other too.
It's good for socialization. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it is. It's really nice to see. And there's the big ribbon cutting. I like that. Now, once the time is up, the students are asked to return all the products to the shelves and help clean the floor and everything else to prepare for the next group of little shoppers. They come in like rounds and things like that. So isn't that nice? I like that idea. It's really cool. It's kind of like I've been to some schools that also have a small broadcasting program for even kids not that young, but elementary school kids, and I think that's wonderful as well. Kind of get them not only looking for careers, but also just life in general, like going to the grocery store. Those lessons are important, but also careers such as being a cashier, a bagger, people in the retail sector is a full career as well. And we spoke with one of their marketing folks, which you just saw a moment ago, about instilling these lessons in kids, really 3- and 4-year-olds. These are at their foundational age still.
Well, that's the point of it, because they're so young. That's when they're really starting to learn things, and I think that's when they start to retain information better. Kind of like younger children are a lot better at learning languages, like new languages. That's the same idea.
Yeah, I wish I had taken on more as learning like Spanish. Now that I'm older, it's much harder to retain all of that. So. That's been a goal of mine for sure. We appreciate you joining us here on Wake Up West Texas Extra. We're going to take a quick break for our TV viewers on First Alert 7 for our news and weather updates. Stay with us.
From First Alert 7 News, this is a Wake Up West Texas news and weather update.
Time now is 8:25 on this finally Friday morning. Good to have you with us here on First Alert 7 for this news and weather update. As we wrap up the work week, we have a lot of news headlines to get to, but also a check of your First Alert forecast after last night's bit of turbulent weather rolled through parts of the area. We heard a rumble of thunder or two, but mostly a little bit of rain. Let's head over now to the First Alert 7 Weather Center for a check of the forecast as we start this finally Friday morning with meteorologist Ethan Yost. Ethan, good morning to you.
And good morning to you. Today we are looking at pretty warm conditions on the way with also breezy conditions. Winds are going to be out of the southwest at about 15 to 25 miles per hour for the majority of the day. And then we're tracking a cold front going into this weekend, also bringing with it some slight rain chances. Here's the big picture across the nation. Cold front moving through across the northwestern U.S. That'll be here by tomorrow morning. But for today, plenty of sunshine and warm temperatures right around 80. Breezy conditions as well out of the southwest. It's going to overlap some dry air and lead to some red flag warnings across western counties of the viewing area. Everyone in the red shaded region should avoid activities that may cause sparks through the afternoon and evening. Here are the numbers over the next 7 days. On Saturday, we cool down to the low 60s after seeing a high of 80 today, so about a 17-degree drop. But then we're back to the 70s on Sunday, and that looks to last all the way through the end of next week, and we'll be approaching 80 by this time next week. Futurecast cloud and rain loop for the rest of today. Looking at plenty of sunshine, looking at a breezy wind out of the west as well. So keep that in mind through the rest of the day today. Dry conditions for the most part. Cold front moves through overnight tonight. That may spark up a shower or storm late tonight into early tomorrow morning across the eastern Permian Basin, but it's not going to amount to much, mainly across central and eastern Texas. We start tomorrow morning as well with a cold front moving through, breezy winds out of the north, and that's going to set the stage for a cooler weekend. Saturday, a high of 63 degrees, breezy winds out of the north, and then we warm right back up into next week with highs back in the 70s. And we are tracking some low-end rain chances through the weekend and the beginning part of next week.
Ethan, thank you very much. We'll begin tracking crime in Pecos County, where the sheriff's office tells us a welfare check on Interstate 10 west of Fort Stockton led to a high-speed chase across 2 counties on Wednesday afternoon. When deputies found 34-year-old Eduardo Otero Olguin, he sped off at a high speed. The chase then extended into Jeff Davis County. The chase ended once DPS troopers used spike strips to deflate the car's tires. After a struggle, Otero Olguin was arrested and taken to the hospital for treatment. He was then booked into the Pecos County Jail on 2 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer and evading arrests with a vehicle. In Midland County, a 35-year-old man's pled guilty to the murder of his neighbor, Samuel Omomogo. Officials say that back on May 21st, 2024, Omomogo was acting erratically and shooting at his neighbor's home. When the neighbor went out to investigate with a rifle, Omomogo shot and killed him. Under a plea deal, he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Tracking crime in Odessa again, where a car crashed after being chased by police, all caught on camera. Officials say yesterday afternoon a person stole a vehicle and led police on a chase until they crashed the car at 67th Street and Andrews Highway. The driver then got out of the vehicle and tried to run away to a nearby restaurant, but was quickly arrested by police. For the latest news, log on anytime to our website. That is firstalert7.com. We also invite you to go live, watch us streaming live on Wake Up West Texas Extra on the First Alert 7 Facebook page and YouTube channel. But you can also download the First Alert 7 mobile news app as well, where we're streaming live, and also later on First Alert 7 News at noon. So we'll be back in another half an hour for another check of your news and weather on this finally Friday morning. So don't go anywhere. Keep it right here on First Alert 7.
At Gray Digital Media, we develop the right message to grab attention and drive leads with custom strategies designed to grow your brand. Trust the streaming apps you know best. Cutting-edge strategies backed by local expertise. Connect you with customers right here in West Texas and wherever your audience is. Get results that matter to you and your business. GDM West Texas, we know local. Let's connect today. GDMWestTexas.com. Here in the Permian Basin, change can come fast, but you don't have to be caught off guard. At First Alert 7,
we are going to be looking at scattered showers and thunder showers.
We track every shift, big or small, and when we know, you'll know.
Here's what we're tracking here on the Weather Maker's map.
We are continuing to see some showers and thunderstorms.
Plan your day clearly and easily with the First Alert Weather Team. Changes will happen, but with First Alert 7 weather, you'll be ready.
The cornerstone of Investigate TV is investigative journalism.
Should this be better regulated?
How big of a problem is that?
We always try to give viewers a takeaway, something they can learn from a story.
Should they be revoking these certifications?
The public has a right to know.
There are things that affect our homes, that affect our families, that affect our health, that we are learning every day from these stories.
It allows us to tell the best of the best stories and show them to you every day.
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
Watch on MeTV Channel 30.2. From First Alert 7 News, with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching Wake Up West Texas.
Extra, good morning to you, and thank you so much for streaming with us here on First Alert 7 Facebook page, YouTube channel, our mobile news app, and our website, firstalert7.com. Ethan Yost filling in for Sawyer McRoy. Good to have you with us. Been a fun morning.
Glad to be back. Yeah, it has been a nice day, fun day. We've had a lot of good discussions, good polls as well.
We do. We have more questions that we want you to answer. For us, which country has the longest coastline? That is the Wake Up West Texas Extra Trivia of the hour. We'll have the answer in a little less than half an hour. There are several options on the board, Ethan.
And it looks like Greenland is so far the winner with 25% in Canada and Australia, respectively.
I'm surprised by Greenland. I voted Australia myself.
I didn't physically vote, but mentally I voted Russia, and it looks like nobody has chose that. So maybe I'm on the wrong page here.
Maybe so, but you never know. Of course, things could change as we move on forward. Oh, speaking of.
Oh, someone chose Russia.
Someone chose Russia.
They heard me speak it into existence.
Mother Russia. We'll see what happens with that. No one choosing the United States either. I think that's fascinating because the U.S., of course, the coastline here in the United States is extensive.
It is very
There's
large.
no doubt about that whatsoever. But at the same time, is it the longest in the world? Hard to say. I can't say for sure. Now we have someone voting United States as well. Okay. Well, we have people voting right now. Go to firstalert7.com/vote. Scan the QR code right there on your screen to be able to make your voice heard.
We'll have the answer to this poll question at the end of the hour.
Yes. Next question. In your opinion, which country has the best food in the world? Looks like folks believe that, well, it's pretty even.
Yeah, 25% across Mexico, Italy, United States, which honestly I think is realistic for the top three.
Yeah, I think so. China and Japan on the board now.
Yes, they are. I mean, hey, even though I am a huge lover of Italian food, I also really like Chinese food. It's kind of Asian cuisine in general.
Me too.
I'm a big fan of sushi, so Japanese, that's all
well,
good.
Did we establish, I guess you did. I don't know if we established our favorite actual foods.
Yeah, so I think I said earlier my top, pizza is definitely my top three, which is the reason why Italy is on my list here for the answer. But my top favorite food is steak.
Ooh, yes.
Specifically a ribeye.
A ribeye.
Yeah.
The most tender of them all. Delicious. You can get a good ribeye. Luckily, you can get that a lot of places around here.
Yes,
There's no shortage.
And I like to make my own. That's kind of
yes,
my
that's
way
right. You
of
mentioned
doing it.
that.
I feel like how I do it is better than how some restaurants do it because they do more of like a grilling style at a lot of places. I like to get that hard sear on a cast iron.
It's got a crispy texture.
Yeah, it's got the the nice crust on the outside and then the juicy soft inside.
Oh,
so
boy.
That's my go-to.
Medium rare.
Yes, exactly. Now, what about you? What's your favorite food?
My favorite food overall? That's a big question. I'm definitely a burger guy. There's no ifs, ands.
It's definitely my top five.
Buts about that is a cheeseburger is my number one go-to, all-time favorite. You're probably not surprised by that.
Do you have a place where it's your favorite burger to get from, or do you
right
make
now,
your own?
Probably the Block Meat Company in Odessa.
Okay.
I think they have.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, we've tried that here at First Alert 7, right?
Yeah, for football season.
Yeah,
probably
that's
think
right.
of that. Yes, so definitely so. That probably is my number one burger. Very good, very delicious. But there's a lot of places too around here that make an excellent burger as well. My top, other than that, favorite food would probably be any form of American Chinese food. I won't say just Chinese food in general because it's so oversimplified.
Yes.
Kind of like Mexican food. It's Tex-Mex. It's not actual authentic Mexican food.
Exactly.
But I like that. And then Italian probably right up there. It's the same thing. Carbs, noodles, those kind of things, pasta, they all fall in the same category.
It looks like now we don't got a winner. We're kind of like a
Even
standstill
now,
here.
too. We're at a stalemate.
For United States, Italy, Japan, Mexico. So,
which I think is telling because I think West Texans have a very wide palate, even though we're here with barbecue, meats, things like that. We also have an excellent variety of places that offer these kinds of foods. I can think of awesome Italian restaurants in Midland, in Odessa. I can think of great Mexican places, Chinese places, Japanese food. I can think of one nearby.
Yeah.
Oh, Japanese food. I love sushi. Are you a sushi guy?
Yes, I am a sushi guy. I
You
just
are
had
too?
some sushi the other night, actually. I tried, what is that place called? Volcano.
Volcano. That's what I was talking about.
Yes.
Excellent, isn't
I
it?
have never tried it. Had it the other night. Fantastic sushi.
Always very good. When so many other places as well on top of that. So that's the thing is West Texas actually has an amazing variety of foods from all around the world. Other than France, I'm sorry if there is one, let me know because I'll go and try it.
You know, I gotta say, that's what I like about Midland and Odessa. That's one of like the big things for me is like, you know, all the local places, all the new restaurants I've been able to try since I've been down here.
Yes.
That's, I feel like it's been like the most rewarding thing, like actually exploring the area as, you know, all the local places and all the new places to try.
Yes, and eventually into the Big Bend. That's on your list of things
Yes,
to get
eventually.
done in the next couple of years is head down to Big Bend. There's some awesome places to eat there as well, as you can imagine.
Of course.
So we'll have to give you some recommendations. If you have any, Ethan's here. Let us know in the comment section if
Yes,
you want him to
please.
try out a place or me, because you know I always like to eat.
Yeah, because I've only been, I mean, I've been here for about 8 months now, but it's only so much I can, you know, look around and try different places. So if you got suggestions for me, I will take them.
All right. Well, back here with us here on the desk, Jacob Brandenburg has a great post that I'm going to highlight here. Remember the Alamo, he says. On this day in 1836, the Texan fort fell to the Mexican army following a 13-day siege. Approximately 200 American, Tejano, and European fighters faced certain death against thousands of Mexican troops, but remained in the old mission and held off the Mexican army until early in the morning on March 6th.
Okay.
The Alamo defenders did not know Texas had declared its independence a few days earlier on March 2nd, which was Texas Independence Day we talked about, and their sacrifice bought time for Sam Houston and his army, which would ultimately defeat the Mexican army in the decisive Battle of San Jacinto held on April 21st. I love that post.
Yeah, it's a great story. Thank you for that, Jacob.
That was very nice, Jacob. Yes, I'm going to have to share that to my Facebook page as well because that is wonderful. Remember the Alamo. Today is the day to do so, if any day whatsoever. Proud Texans here. I wish I had a San Antonio camera. Isn't that a city we don't really have in our network, huh?
Oh, is that right?
I'm pretty
San
sure we
Antonio's
don't.
not on the
because
list?
I would have pulled that up, I would have thought. No, that's not true. We have one camera facing towards the Frost Bank building. So we'll bring it up in honor of the Alamo. We don't have a good clip of the Alamo, unfortunately, but we'll bring it up San Antone early this Friday morning in honor of the Alamo and the fighters there for Texas independence. Isn't that great? Cloudy out there, Ethan. Goodness.
Yeah, it is. A lot more cloudy than we are. We're seeing crystal blue skies today.
Crystal blue.
They kind of got what we had yesterday. They
definitely.
started off the day with mostly cloudy skies. That's what we saw yesterday. But yeah, beautiful scene there. Love the skyline.
Speaking of, we want to head down to H-Town, Houston, near the battle where San Jacinto took place. I have been up to the San Jacinto Memorial myself, actually. I've been up to the very top. It's a obelisk similar to the Washington Memorial in Washington, D.C. And I have been to the top of the San Jacinto Memorial there. It's beautiful. The USS Texas, the battleship Texas there. Incredible. Look at that cloud cover there in Houston. H-Town looking pretty good on this Friday morning.
Yes, it is.
Now let's turn now to some not so great weather out of Oklahoma. Look at this. A large wedge-shaped funnel lowering. It's more of a wall cloud in this instance specifically. We're not sure if this was a tornado. It's a possible tornado reported out of this county here, Major County, Oklahoma, near Fairview. And this was just last night, Ethan. I want to get your take on it as we zoom in. We'll pause the video and zoom in closer to see what you see.
Yeah, so we were kind of talking about this earlier. It's really kind of hard to tell whether there's actually contact on the ground.
Sure, yeah, especially
and even
at night.
and even with tornadoes sometimes, there's not actually a visual cue that it's on the ground. A lot of the time you just have an invisible rotation at the ground.
Fascinating. So possible that
Very, very possible. I think what's going to confirm this is damage surveys. We're talking about this earlier too, is there's ways to not just differentiate between wind and tornado, but of course, you know, get a rating on how strong the tornado was. So I will look through some reports. I didn't see any reports in that particular area, but near that area. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a tornado in particular, and especially with that storm in general. This was one of the storms that was tracking through a good portion of Texas and Oklahoma last night.
That far?
Yeah, and it moved from the eastern Texas panhandle through northwest Oklahoma. So,
wow.
And it was just tornado after tornado after tornado. So depending on when this was, it's very likely it could have produced one because it was producing one after the other.
Constantly.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. So unfortunately, lives were lost in this bit of storm system. And like you mentioned, Oklahoma kind of under the gun again today.
Yes, another risk today, and I think it actually will be a higher risk. There's actually a higher risk for tornadoes later today across the eastern portion of the state of Oklahoma and into western Arkansas. Have a high threat for some strong tornadoes today.
Okay, so keep an eye on that, especially if you're traveling that way or have any relatives out in that direction, let them know. In Atlanta now, much lighter news, there's a presence with a wagging tail that brings a sense of calm to this courtroom. This is Icy, right there. She's a pit bull who sits beside defendants in court on a daily basis. Icy is a rescue who was once abused and even shot. But as you can see, Superior Court Judge Emily Richardson says she fell in love with this pooch last year at a canine cellmate's graduation. In a matter of weeks, the judge adopted her and said, well, I can't go to work without her, so she's coming with me. She's now in accountability court.
And you said, sits next to defendants, so it might actually make you feel a little comfortable.
Having a dog there. Yes, if you're having a bad time. Now she's in a loving home. Icy is helping many in court find their own strength like she did. I love that. Look at that. She's there for the attention too.
Yes.
They're going up for their cases.
She loves it. The
traffic
dog loves
court,
it.
things like that. Yes, and she's just there to give them some support.
Judge loves it. The dog loves it. Win-win.
Defendants do too. Goodness. Well, soccer, as you know, has a World Cup, but cheese also has a distinguished world title. This year's winner of the World Championship Cheese Contest was crowned in Madison, Wisconsin yesterday. The winning team hails from the Netherlands. Their cheese Beemster Royal, I want to say Royale, it's Royal Grand Cru. You can see it right there. Double A. That's why I keep thinking it's Royale, but Royale's with an E.
Okay.
They scored 98.68 out of 100. So
a high score.
Near perfect. 25 countries and 34 U.S. states were beat out and represented in this competition. Netherlands really know how to make their cheese.
And do they usually hold these competitions up in Wisconsin, or is this kind of like...
I don't know. I want to say yes. I want to say the one I'm thinking of last year, year before, was also in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
I was going to say, because what's well known is this Wisconsin cheese and also the cheese curds.
The cheese curds that I hear so much about. Sawyer talks about cheese curds.
Yes.
And I've never had cheese curds.
Yeah, that's something
they don't sound appealing, I'll be honest.
They are very good. You have to get the right ones, though. Some areas, they're
It's not.
But
let me look it up.
You have to go to the right place to get them. There was this local place back at home, not local necessarily. It's a chain, but there's not one in West Texas. There's this fast food. Culver's.
That's where Sawyer was talking about.
Culver's has fantastic cheese curds. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm trying to think of what other restaurants.
Can you make them at home?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they're not hard to make.
No, I've made them myself.
Really? Mm-hmm. And you're offering to make some now? For me?
I got you. I kind of made less of like a cheese curd and more of like a cheese ball, if that makes sense.
Sure, just fried up.
Like it was a larger, usually cheese curds are bite-sized. The ones that I made were kind of more like, the size of a hush puppy. You were just talking about that. It's kind of more doughy in there, like more
apparently you put beer in there. I guess you can do a beer batter.
For a beer batter, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yes, you have to try that. I recommend it.
Okay, I'll have to give that a shot sometime. Maybe I'll make some too. Give it a shot. Let's head out to another dog story. We like the dog stories. One canine deputy from Ohio is in the dog house, though. Moby with the Lucas County Sheriff's Office, he's an officer for them. He's accused of the gruesome shredding of a lamb toy. The tongue-in-cheek investigation led to Moby being the top suspect, largely because, according to the authorities, there were, quote, zero signs of forced entry. Officers described the scene as disturbing, with stuffing being scattered all throughout the floor in the crime scene. The department believes it has figured out the motive of the crime. The squeak toy appears to have been too tempting for Moby to resist.
Oh, poor
Moby.
Graphic. Moby, poor Moby.
Poor Moby the dog. You see the suspect right there after the gruesome scene, according to the sheriff's office there.
That's a funny story, though.
I like the
story. How they incorporate the dog into this criminal investigation.
Yes.
I like that.
Of one of their own officers. Goodness. And look, he gets in that door like no problem at all.
Smart dog.
Very smart dog. Well, a popular fast food chain, speaking of food, wants to pay you 6 figures just to eat. Oh, boy.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Wendy's is on a nationwide search for a chief tasting officer for $100,000 a year. A very decent salary. You'll taste Wendy's menu items, create content, share creative feedback, and help the company keep a pulse on what's trending in fast food. The job description leans into humor, saying applicants just need a mouth, a pulse, and strong opinions about the brand's food. The remote role, it also requires very little travel. Wendy's says you can expect to go to places like your own Wendy's and or the couch. To apply, candidates must submit a video showing why they are the perfect personality hire. And of course, be sure to show off their taste testing skills.
I wonder what they're looking for in terms of personality here.
A newsman?
Well, there you go.
Such as myself?
Matthew. Sign him up.
I would do it. I like to tell the story. Back in 2007, I was turning 10 years old, and I had my birthday party at a Wendy's, at our local Wendy's, because of how much I enjoyed Wendy's at the time. That's how much my family knew I liked it. So they were like, why don't we have your birthday at a Wendy's?
Hey, fair enough.
And I did. They brought, then the staff was awesome. They had decorated a table for us, set out off to the side, because obviously the restaurant's open. Luckily it wasn't too busy. It was on a Sunday, I want to say, so it was just a normal Sunday evening gathering. It was decorated nicely. I had a cake. They dressed up one of the employees in a clown costume.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy the clown, I guess, kind of, even though she's not a clown. But I love that. I mean, it was such a great time. They had colored balloons. It's like they had everything ready to go.
Yeah.
They'd been waiting for this chance, and it was wonderful. It was my favorite birthday I've ever had, and I'm 28 years old, so I've had many.
That's awesome. We love that story.
A great story. So pay me $100,000 and I'll taste your food.
Yeah, that's like perfect evidence for Matthew to become.
I have proof.
Yes, exactly.
That's
He
true.
loves Wendy's. He's got the personality.
I need
He wants the
$100,000.
job.
Most importantly, but at the same time, you have to let me stay here at First Alert 7. I can't leave this job. In fact, I have to stay here, I think, the rest of my life. So I need to keep this job too.
Incorporate the two.
And there, we can work something out to be able to make both work. I can't leave Wake Up West Texas, or Extra especially. I got to stay right where I am for sure.
Totally understand that.
If you're interested, though, Wendy's has details on their website as well. We have still got a lot more to come here on Wake Up West Texas Extra.
Thanks for streaming with us. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
Here in the Permian Basin, change can come fast, but you don't have to be caught off guard. At First Alert 7,
We are going to be looking at scattered showers and thunder showers.
we track every shift, big or small. And when we know, you'll know.
Here's what we're tracking here on the Weather Maker's map.
We are continuing to see some showers and thunderstorms.
Plan your day clearly and easily with the First Alert Weather Team. Changes will happen, but with First Alert 7 weather, you'll be ready.
The cornerstone of Investigate TV is investigative journalism.
Should this be better regulated? Should I be concerned?
Do you recall when you became aware of that law?
The beauty of this show is that we have a team of reporters all across the country.
From very diverse backgrounds.
The public has a right to know.
How big of a problem is that?
Should they be revoking these certifications?
I think viewers are looking for something different, something fresh, something that feels helpful to them.
In a world full of goats,
A goat. Big Billy Goat.
we have a small goat here. Which Me TV show is the greatest of all time?
I haven't time to listen to goat stories.
Can only one goat be the goat?
The goat eats everything.
What do you know about goats? Or can more than one goat,
Folks is bound to keep goats.
be the goat?
We have a goat here.
Stupid goat. Find your greatest of all time.
A goat.
Watch on Me TV channel 30.2. Every night at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here. New tonight.
First Alert 7 News is where West Texas turns for what's happening right now
Reporting at the First Alert desk, I'm Lauren Munt.
and what's happening next.
Well, it is a First Alert 7 weather day.
Bringing the stories important to you first.
New tonight. We'll remember we were your first alert when several
Asking the right questions and finding solutions.
Keeping your family safe just got easier.
First Alert 7 is working for you.
First Alert 7 News at 10.
All right, welcome back to Wake Up West Texas Extra on this finally Friday morning. Good to have you streaming with us here on the First Alert 7 Facebook page, YouTube channel, our website, and our mobile news app. I'm keeping an eye on the comments section below. Let me check, make sure I keep it open because sometimes it closes out. I was reading Jacob Brandenburg's post about it being Alamo Day. Mitch Stay Ready says, good morning, my favorite team. Elt All says Italy was his favorite on his or her favorite on the poll.
I agree with that. That was my answer as well.
Well, speaking of, let's go back to the poll to be able to see what they're talking about. In your opinion, which country has the best food in the world? Italy is at 22%. So is a lot of our answers. We have a good spread here on our poll
Yeah,
this
we're
morning.
still kind of at a standstill here between U.S., Italy, Japan, and Mexico. And still no votes for France.
No votes for France. I wonder, it's not as well known, I feel like, widespread.
We don't get really much French cuisine in the United States, I don't think.
Not much that I know of. Maybe in like New York City, things like that. Our extra trivia, which is going to be answered in 10 minutes. Which country has the longest coastline? I voted for, what did I vote for? Australia. I was trying to remember.
Current winner being Greenland. I did vote for Russia just out of random guess because I had
'Cause why
zero
not?
idea. I was like, let's just do it. And then we still got Australia, United States, and Canada tied, as well as Russia. No one has voted for Norway.
Here's an interesting question. Is Pluto a planet?
60% saying yes.
It should be. Do you want Pluto to be named a part of the solar system?
See, again, we were
60-40.
talking about earlier, it's like, yes, it's not considered a planet, but we still call it a dwarf.
A dwarf planet.
It's like, what does that mean?
Instead of a dwarf moon or a dwarf or a satellite or a rock. I don't know.
It's like, you'll get like astronomers and astrophysicists that will, try to fact check people. It's like, no, it's a dwarf planet. I'm like, well, it's still a planet either way, I guess.
It says the word planet is in the title there for sure. If you were a storm chaser, which Ethan is, which weather phenomenon would you want to see in person? Do you consider yourself a storm chaser? Because you have storm chased before.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what you consider, a storm chaser. I'm not a full-time storm chaser.
Lifestyle.
But during the spring season, especially back in college, I mean, I was going out like at least once a week to go and chase.
Oh my goodness! So you were really active at that part of your life there.
And obviously, there were some weeks you'd be really busy in college and you would be able to go. But of course, I would take every opportunity I could during the spring during college.
So was this a year ago?
Yeah, so I've been chasing since my sophomore year in college, so it's been a couple years now.
So you've got a few seasons under your belt to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first storm chasing season? What was that like?
I do. I remember my first chase. My first chase was, of course, back at home near St. Louis area, and we were tracking a storm going towards the St. Louis metro area, and it had this big wall cloud. And on my first chase, we saw a tornado. So,
wow, which is not the case for a lot of folks.
A lot of folks, and it's really hard to, especially if you're with people who are also not very experienced, because I was with a couple of other buddies who've done a amount of storm chasing, a little bit more than I have, but they were still relatively new to it, so it's not like we were professionals by any means. We didn't know exactly what we were doing, but we had the knowledge of the weather to do it. And, well, we chased a storm, and first storm that we got on, first chase, and saw a tornado the first time.
That's incredible. And I have to say, to be very clear, of course, when you're talking, you went out with your buddies, inexperienced. Y'all were still studying the meteorology, atmospheric sciences, things like that. You still understood what was going on. You weren't just going out untrained and unprepared.
No, and see, like even back like in my freshman year, I was actually against storm chasing. I thought it was dangerous. I thought it was stupid, which it's dangerous, of course.
And there's certain aspects of it that could be.
Yes, but once I, was learning more throughout my college career, I was like, well, this is a fantastic learning opportunity. Like not just learning and going out there to, apply my knowledge. I'm learning when I'm out there, learning how storms work, the way they look. I can visualize a storm just by looking at it on radar now. It's kind of crazy how much it actually helps you.
Do you have any thoughts on the, not TikTokification, but, I've seen a lot of influencers on YouTube and things like that go out. And I've seen also videos from, very famous storm chasers where they're getting stuck in lines of traffic.
Yes,
the amount of danger into just that.
Yeah, we call that chaser convergence, which is when you got a bunch of chasers all in the same area. And when that happens typically on days where you have, just one or two storms.
Okay, yeah.
So, you got let's say we got 100 storm chasers out there and there's only 2 storms. Well, you're going to get at least a lot of people on one of those storms. And usually that happens with one of those storms that goes super tornadic. Everybody's going to line up on it. But yes, to answer your question, it's very dangerous. That's what actually kills more people than anything is storm chaser convergence because you can't move. There's been situations where people were right in front of tornadoes and they can't go anywhere because there's a line of cars. And it actually doesn't just affect the chasers, it affects other people who are trying to get from point A to point B. So that is something that does affect especially Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a big one.
Yes.
Because most people chase in Oklahoma, and usually they'll get these events where they get 1 or 2 storms. One of them goes crazy, and everyone jumps on it. So
and it causes lots of traffic, like
It
you were
does,
saying. That's what I was imagining, because there is that thing nowadays to be able to show this cool video, things like that, for simply the clicks, not so much to warn folks or document what's going on or learn from these storms. So there's that part of it as well. Just like everything else in this world nowadays, social media has an aspect of it as well.
Definitely.
So very fascinating stuff there. We appreciate you joining us all this morning for Wake Up West Texas Extra. We're going to take a quick break for our TV viewers to get a First Alert 7 news and weather updated with meteorologist Ethan Yost to look at his forecast and also some of today's top stories. So don't go anywhere. We'll have the answer to the trivia question right after this quick break.
From First Alert 7 News, this is a Wake Up West Texas news and weather update.
Good morning, everyone. Time now is 8:55. Good morning to you. I'm Matthew Alvarez. Let's get a check of your First Alert 7 forecast as we start our day and head into the weekend with meteorologist Ethan Yost standing by now in the Weather Center with a check of our forecast. Ethan, good morning.
Good morning, Matthew, and to everybody at home. Today, we are looking at a warm, dry, and breezy day on the way. That's your first alert for your Friday. Tomorrow, though, tracking some big changes with a cold front that's going to roll through. That's going to roll through first thing tomorrow morning, make for a cool start to the weekend, but then a warm end of the weekend. Could bring some slight rain chances, but not everybody's going to receive rain. Live eye cam over mid this afternoon, showing plenty of blue sky and sunshine. Current temperatures in the 60s this morning. Those are going to warm up quite a bit throughout the afternoon as dew points are quite meager out there. We're seeing 50s dew points out there, so quite actually good moisture out there. This is a dry line that's setting up. It's going to continue to drift off to the east throughout the day, and we're going to be looking at a lot of dry air filtering in this afternoon. That's going to lead to increased fire danger, especially because we're going to see some breezy winds in the forecast. You can see here on our current winds map that we have plenty of breeze out there. Current wind gusts up to 22 miles per hour in Big Spring, but those will continue to rise through the afternoon. Here's a look at the timeline in terms of those wind speed and gust. And throughout the day, we'll see those winds generally from 15 to 25 miles per hour and occasionally gusting to above 30 miles per hour. So that's going to be something that we're watching over the next couple of hours. Looking ahead to the next 10 days, again, tomorrow looking at cooler temperatures, highs back to the lower 60s. Sunday, we're back up to the 70s, so make sure you take advantage of Saturday. Very slight rain chances for both of those days, but I think most of us stay dry. Better rain chances return on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Little details on that right now, but we'll give you an update on that as we get closer.
Ethan, thank you very much. We'll begin tracking crime in Odessa this morning, where a car crashed after being chased by police, all caught on video. Officials say that yesterday afternoon, a person stole a vehicle and led police on a chase until they crashed the car here at 67th and Andrews Highway. The driver then got out and tried to run away to a nearby restaurant, but was quickly arrested by police. Also in Odessa, 2 people with felony warrants were arrested in the area of Maple and Duran Drive. You're looking at video of the scene. Officials telling us that the heavy police presence in the area was due to a search of the 2 who were arrested. Their names have not been released. In Midland now, police have made 2 arrests yesterday afternoon in connection with a stolen vehicle. Officials say it happened around 2:15 in the afternoon. The stolen vehicle was seen through the city's flock camera system and later found in the Academy parking lot. Midland police arrested the 2 people involved, but no names have been released at this time. News in the community now. The Burleson Early Education Center now has a new way that their students can develop skills, and it's through pretend shopping at HEB. This play space gives the kids a chance to develop important skills and build real-world experience. With a grant from HEB, Burleson's created their own market, which is allowing them to get into a normal grocery store setting with fresh produce and canned food aisles, and some scan the items out at a checkout and much more. Everything built to be accessible to their 3- and 4-year-olds.
Being able to understand how the real world works and whenever you're going to get a product and therefore giving a service that backs that. Listening to these kids today, be there for their customers, wanting to clean up the aisles, trying to help each other choose what products they're going to get to make their families for dinner. It's been really cool to see that and to capture that at such a young age.
Not only is it fun for the kids, but it also helps introduce them to a wide range of new and developing skills. For the latest news, log on anytime to firstalert7.com. Be sure to tune in a little bit later for First Alert 7 News at noon with Jacob Brandenburg and meteorologist Ethan Yost. Make it a great Friday and have a wonderful weekend. Now time for the answer to extra trivia this hour, which is what country had the longest coastline, has the longest coastline. The answers, of course, are there on your screen, or the options were Australia, Canada, Greenland, Norway, Russia, United States. I voted for Australia.
And we've got the answer right here. Drum roll, please. Canada.
You're kidding.
Canada. 125,500 miles.
Canada?
I was not expecting that by any means.
I guess so. Now I'm going to have to go stare at a map for the next hour
I know,
or so.
right?
Well, there's the answer, Canada. Let us know if you voted that. Go to firstalert7.com/vote. We have polls every morning here on Wake Up West Texas Extra. A lot of fun today.
Yeah,
And
we
all
had a
this
great
week.
time.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks for joining me this week for Extra. It was a lot of fun.
It was. I'm glad to be here.
And glad to have you with us here as well. Thanks for streaming with us. Make it a great Friday. And like I said, have a wonderful